Justina is at 50% the entire time. So, perhaps there's some untapped potential there. Who knows? But I will say that this Justina composition with Syra and Feria is extremely good at taking down the Transformer compositions. It feels just unplayable as a Tianhai. You ult, you die. If you don't ult, you die. It's crazy. It's really, really impossible to do all that much. But here we are kicking it off, ladies and gentlemen. We do see a few kills going down in the kill feed. It looks as though 5-1 to manage to take down FPX. We're over here taking a look at Wolves looting up with this other team very close to them, but no action as of yet. But here we are taking a look at WBG and SR going up against each other. Yeran trying to find an opening, holding these fan R&B focus attacks. Leo has already gone down in the 1 versus 2, and unfortunately, Yeran and Jing have not been able to do the same thing to the opposing team. They're now in a 2 versus 3, making it extremely difficult to come back in this situation, but it is possible. Do you believe, Seb?
I do believe, it is looking a little bit more difficult. Junks has been able to get himself an armor swap here, and now we're seeing the ultimate come out from the Zai. This could be disaster. Euron doing a really good job at kiting this out, though. Is going to get himself tapped. Now it's just a matter of time. There we go. It looks like Junks has gone down, though. This is the 2v1 situation, and my belief and faith was well placed, ladies and gentlemen, as they are going to be able to come away with the elimination. Flipping over now, we are going to see ASE fighting against YCG. Miss trying to go for a parry, isn't going to connect here. TXJ is going to get hit by the 1-2, trying to bring it back around, does get hit by the overhold. Pull Sword going to come through into the Stormform. Huge parry going to be going on to CXZ. QGG now in the 1v2 scenario. Miss going to get a huge parry, taking TXJ extremely low. They are going to see if they can try and get that elimination. Tessa is going to be able to get the double charm off. The overhold's going to come through. F ability preventing all of that punish damage, and the stun's going to come through. TXJ's dead. QGG's dead, and ASE picking up 3 beautiful eliminations.
They do indeed, and they take down YZG, no less, the team that piloted this composition so beautifully in the previous bi-weekly final. A little taste of their own medicine, perhaps, but they're not down for the count just yet. They do have their resurrections, their rebirths, and they're going to be going and looting on up later on in this game if they can find a little place to resurrect, a little safe place, a little place to loot up. We're heading over to GG and ASE, potentially looking to scrap it out in this area. Jianan, ooh, that Fistblade LMB focus almost catching LXM, but he makes his way up and over, and the silence and ult comes through. Peak stuck in a corner and just not able to do anything, stunned and taken down. Mist now trying to respond with his own Viper ultimate, but not really able to find too much. Unfortunately, the Tessa does get a charm off, but not too much is going to come of it. GG, ASE, and TE all in the same spot. This is pretty oogly indeed. This tiny little cave, this indent in this rock formation is packed to the brim with chaotic action. Oh my goodness, the stuff going crazy. Mist goes down, Xiao Wen goes down, and Han as well on top of all of it. GG are now on 7 eliminations already, and we're only a few minutes into the game, so this is insanity.
And GG showing that they are still a team to be reckoned with, as they are going to try and pick up some more eliminations here. It looks like TE's Youth is going to be able to get himself hit by the Viper stun, and Xiaonan are going to both go down. Beautiful cleanup from GG here, picking up 9 eliminations, going on to their 10th kill now. On to TE's Peak, trying to see if they can make this happen. Peak trying to get away, is able to use that F ability to create a little bit of distance, but it is not going to be enough, as Peak finishing himself off. GG's 330 with the purple greatsword is going to be able to pick up a nice little elimination, putting them on 10 kills for the team. This is absolutely insane. We're not even 5 minutes into the game yet, and GG has picked up 10 eliminations. They are pretty highly scaled as well. They've got some good loot under their belt, 2 purple armors, lots of purple weapons, and they're going to be jumping into these next couple of fights with some very, very aggressive gameplay.
Oh, absolutely. And they not only do they have all of this stuff, they have a whole bunch of money. In Immortal War, the tournament game mode, so to speak, when you get kills, when you get these eliminations, you are rewarded not only with the loot, but also with some cash. You're with some money, the bounty for them. It's like a quest for Immortal War. You get all of that, you're able to buy up so much. And yeah, really get that ball rolling, the snowball going down the hill. And speaking of snowballs, WBG are rolling up onto SR here. But SR, they're not to be trifled with. You know, unfortunately, they weren't able to showcase that in the bi-weekly finals, but they certainly did in the group stage. They're kiting back here slowly. WBG trying to find their way in, trying to find that opening. The Matari, oh, and there it is. The Moonbane comes through, but unfortunately, they're just not able to hold on to these players. Moonbane's strategy is two people try their very best to hold a player or two down in one specific spot as their third teammate puts the Moonbane down on top of them, and essentially it facilitates a just an unwinnable situation as they're forced to kite their way out of the Moonbane. But if you're not able to do that, then the Moonbane, quite frankly, just goes to waste. And that's exactly what has happened, unfortunately, for WBG. They've invested their Darktide coins into buying this Moonbane, and it's gone down the drain. So, you know, that's definitely unfortunate, to say the least. Heading on over to ASE, very close to this team, but looks as though no action is going to be taking place. We are going to be getting those Realms of Yang spawning in rather soon, and I believe that a lot of these players and a lot of these teams will be looking at to head on over there and prepared to go into that Realm of Yang.
Yeah, and as we're setting up for this Realm of Yang, let's take a quick look at YZG with no eliminations on the board. You know, it's a little bit of a different pace that we saw from the first game. Or our last game that we saw them playing in, which would be the bi-weekly finals, where we saw them absolutely dominate the competition. So, you know, sometimes you have an off first game, which is okay. It takes a bit of time to build that momentum up. They did go off on their first fight, and they ended up losing. So it would make sense that, you know, they haven't really gotten themselves into a fight post-rebirth. They just need to find a good time to get themselves in. They might try and go for Realm of Yang here. If we're taking a look at the map, it looks like YZG has started to scale up closer to that Yang, but SR is going to be waiting in the wings there. We're going to be seeing SS1 going for a Realm of Yang as well, a TE jumping for that bottom one, and we're seeing FPX as well. All of these players are starting to crowd there. It looks like Wolves and ASE, as well as I believe GG here, going to be going for that Spirit Well instead of the Realm of Yang.
It's definitely a viable option, especially when you're playing at the Viper Tessa Wuchen. You know, it's not necessarily your priority to be going to those Realms of Yang. You can look to position yourself around those portals and look to try and catch off these players trying to make their way into the Realm of Yang. But, you know, you usually don't want to be going in there. And it's not necessarily because Tessa and Viper aren't able to, but Wu Chen inherently just loses a lot of value in the Realm of Yang, as there isn't really all that much room to teleport and actually make use of this ultimate, the ultimate that is definitely the best in slot for trios at the current time.
Do you think we'll ever get to see Wu Chen V2 used in trios?
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Could be a good Yang contender, as we are going to be taking a look at our first fight here. We're going to be seeing Alliance. Revenge going to get grabbed. SS1 Water picking up a nice grab. Trying to go for the double here. Isn't going to be able to get it. Revenge is going to get himself dropped. Trying to see if they can go for the grab again. SS1's zipping, doing a very good job at the peel, as we are going to see Shuan now in that ultimate, trying to see if they can get another grab off Water. Not going to be able to make anything happen. NY7 going to be getting peeled. Shuan taking a lot of damage, though. They are going to try and get Revenge out here. Ultimate now invested for NY7 to try and peel for his team. He was unsuccessful in getting the peel off for that one teammate. Shuan now going to lose that ultimate, able to get a last little bit of confirmed damage off. We're now going to see the F ability invested. It is a 3v2 situation with both players on Alliance extremely low. NY7 and Yuma both going to get themselves eliminated. And SS1 taking a Realm of Yang. They're showing some really good stuff this game.
Oh, absolutely. SS1 definitely performed pretty well in the previous biweekly as well. They were one of the teams that made it into that biweekly final. And although they didn't come away with a win in the final, they definitely performed pretty well. And I'm sure everyone's hoping to see them continue along this path. As you know, they're not a new team, but they're not one of the big names at the moment. You know, they're not one of the big dogs like GG and JL and all of these big names. They're certainly trying to prove themselves, and with this composition, they could very well do that in this game, especially off of that Yang win, managing to scale up. I was about to say Takeda, Tianhai and Kylin both scale extremely well with high rarity loot, so they're going to be taking advantage. Oh, there's a nice little purple armor for TE. We're also on this composition as I was talking about it. But absolutely. We've always talked about it. The Tianhai, when he's been a part of so many different compositions, benefits so much. His ultimate's health scaling with the armor that he has, and the damage from those slams in the ultimate also scaling with the weapon rarity. And it's interesting to see that the weapon, the golden weapon on the team composition has instead gone over to the Kylin. It looks as though they're prioritizing the Kylin's ultimate damage over the Tianhai. And it does make sense. You know, it's not always the case that you want to give the Tianhai the golden weapon to make those slams do more damage, because a lot of the time the slam itself is not what does the most damage. It's the follow-up from the slam. But we've got a bit of a fight breaking out here, Seb. In this tiny cave, what is going on? It's a boxing match. It's getting crazy in here. Oh my goodness. Boom. Get back, son. Where you going?
Oh, the poison from these mushrooms is going to be doing so much damage. Let's see who is going to have the more sustain. It looks like TE's Youth able to get the elimination onto water. And look at all of these Kylin slashes going back and forth. All of this poison getting sent around. This is not very good. It looks like SS1 is going to get themselves eliminated here. Both of these teams do have that Vermilion Bird Mite, so they are going to be able to get themselves a little bit of a resurrection. As you're going to see, they are going to intentionally set off those poison mushrooms one more time so that they can go down and take themselves to a better spot. They would be very, very far out of position if they tried to go for a fight right now, and it's just going to be a difficult one for them. Instead of wasting resources trying to reset their HP and go back into a fight without their ultimates, they are just going to take themselves to the soul altars for the revive. It's a smart play to do, as we are going to see now. It looks like Alliance facing off against YZG. Both of these teams on Yang depletion. It looks like, oh my goodness, what a peel from CXZ to be able to get NY7 away. It looks like it is going to be a little too late as QGG forced to pop that Justina ultimate to try and get away here. Has one last dash, is going to be able to use all of those dashes to try and get away. TXJ trying to peel for the team as well as XJ. We're going to see QGG now going to pop that F ability to be able to get out of there. F3 going to come in. F2, sorry, for NY7. What a play. It looks like Alliance Yuma able to come in with the elimination. I thought Wolves Night HQ stole that for a second there, but we do see them picking up this elimination. And now WBG coming in on the third party. They're also on the Yang depletion. Oh my goodness, what a melt from NY7. We're going to see the Syra coming through, just dealing so much damage. TXJ now facing off against NY7. NY7 still trying to come away with this elimination. TXJ with the jump LMVs coming through. YZG's TXJ now is going to end up getting stunned out, and Giron going to assist in the elimination, helping Alliance out a little bit there, but it looks like Alliance were still able to get the bloom and get themselves cured of that Yang depletion as SS1 coming in on the third party.
Indeed, what a bit of an upset to say the least. You know, YZG having performed so well in the bi-weekly final, you're thinking, well, what's going on? Did they fall off? Are they washed after a week? No, I think it's pretty safe to say that they're certainly not washed. I'll touch back on that subject in a moment, but we're taking a look at BBE up against GG, and they've already managed to take down a player, but at the cost of a significant amount of their effective health here, and the Tessa ultimate, oh my goodness, how the turns have tabled for poor BBE. They had it in the bag there for a second, but they just, it cost them too much health, and they weren't able to come out on top. GG able to turn it on its head and clutch up in the end. We're about to take a look at jumping straight back into the action with SS1 and 5-2-1 in the realm of Yang. SS1 certainly looking to replicate their performance in the first realm of Yang. A huge amount of damage coming through onto Pampy. Oh my goodness, forced to dash away. The Farrier mech was dropped down on top of him in case he needed it, but he wasn't able to get in. The communication was not there. Now Water taking a little bit of damage from Ivan. The tech chase from the Pulse Sword is coming through. The RMB focus double charge coming through from Water. He's trying to chase him down, but not able to. And now going to be going up into that Vajra state in the Monk ultimate. But I don't think he's going to be able to slam here. Unfortunately, the Farrier mech is just too disruptive. They do find the kill onto Yin regardless, though. 5-1 now down a member. SS1 in the driver's seat on the front foot. Water still throwing out these grabs. Does manage to find one, forced to slam as his ultimate is about to expire. There it is, coming out of that ultimate. He still has so much of his armor to play with. It is looking pretty cooked for 5-1, unfortunately. And SS1 able to get their second Realm of Yang win, further accelerating their game plan for game number 1. But speaking of game number 1, I just wanted to quickly touch back on this as I was talking about it. YZG, I think the game 1s, they're a bit of a throwaway. I'm not going to lie. The bi-weekly final, they died with Draco Storm in endgame. How? I think it's just a pattern. YZG, they don't perform all that well in game number 1, and this is something that happens. You know, some teams they perform well in some games. You know, game 1 sometimes it takes them a little bit of time to get going, get the ball rolling, get warmed up, get those. You just feel good. You know, get that confidence up, and it might just be the case for them. So we'll see later on in the day whether or not they're able to salvage it, or if in fact they just, you know, the pressure's going to get to them, like it did to SR in the bi-weekly finals.
YZG's the type of team to go in and game 1's my warm up.
Yeah, exactly.
No scrims. No
game
practice,
1 of the day, always a warm up.
No VOD review. Game 1 is the warm up. We'll play from there. We'll go off of how we do in game number 1, and that's how we're going to see it. It seems to be working for them. They won the bi-weekly finals, so who are we to say that their strategy isn't working for them? As we are going to see now 5-1 going to be heading over to a Soul Altar, trying and seeing if they can get themselves back into this game. They are going to need to claim 3 Soul Blooms, 1 for each of their teams, as it looks like SS1 and TE, both with that Draco Storm buff, they're going to be extremely dangerous to fight right now, as they are going to pass by GG here. Check your bushes, ladies and gentlemen. Could be some eliminations for you, and it looks like they are just going to get themselves past. 5-2-1 is going to hit themselves onto the revive here. They are going to be searching. There is a second team on Yang Depletion that is going to be looking for a fight as well. So they're going to be trying to see if they can spot out that team, go for that fight, because both teams will all in. If you're fighting against a team that doesn't have Yang Depletion, they might not be as aggressive. It looks like they have found ASE. They might try and take this fight off onto them, but it looks like ASE is just going to go for the rotate, not wanting to engage straight away. I don't know who is our other team with the Yang Depletion. We might get to see the scoreboard in just a second to let us know. And it looks like I've been full court press here, ready to go for this fight. It looks like they are going to start the chase over. ASE has decided to start the engagement, sending some range shots over, but it looks like that isn't going to be enough to get them to fight. They are going to pop that no ult zone and decide to scale the other side of the mountain. Pampy, you do see he's got that focus slide as well. Could be a crazy play coming out with that pulse sword if they're going to be able to catch up to them in time. And it looks like they are getting the grapples off on them. They are keeping pretty far behind, not wanting to engage too closely with this team. They are keeping their distance. Blue armor on all of them. Only purple weapons on Pampy and Ivan. Yin with the blue weapon in hand. So we could see them going for this fight, but it looks like they aren't wanting to contest this. They might see SR and decide to turn their attention over, but they haven't seen Rico. Rico and Junks are going to be able to get away with a little nice hiding there. And it looks like 521 is the only team on Yang Depletion.
They are indeed, and I think that they're not looking to fight this because they know this. They know exactly what's gone on, what's occurring. As you can see the character names in the kill feed. You can't see the player names, but you can see the character names. So if you're keeping an eye on that kill feed, you're able to make sure that you know which team is on Yang Depletion. And just in general, you know that the teams do have Yang Depletion. If you have just the modicum of presence of mind at this point in the game, you're always going to be able to tell that there is going to be at least one team with Yang Depletion. And you can tell from the kill feed and the announcement from the game. So they don't want to fight this. They're going to kite it out until that timer starts to run down very, very low. They can time them out, or at the very least, go down to the wire and make it so that 521 plays an extremely aggressive and desperate playstyle, or, as they are right now. We see these Justina dashes, the ultimate from the Syra. They're getting desperate. They're starting to sweat. They need to close these kills out as soon as possible if they have any chance of staying alive in this lobby. And it looks as though, they might have ran them into the right place. The no ult zone coming through. Pampy sliding in with that focus slide. He might be able to make something happen. He tries to catch this Tessa, the focus slide coming through. Oh my goodness, the damage. That's the kind of heavy sword gaming I like to see. The dodge on the Tessa ult as well. Xiao Wen, 1 HP. He's in a nightmare right now. Pampy just destroying him. Absolutely cooked. But unfortunately, the Soul Bloom gets taken away from him. 521 made such a huge and valiant effort to salvage this horrendous situation, but they're just not going to be able to do it. They're not going to be able to cleanse that Yang Depletion. They did manage to fully grief ASE, however. You don't want to fight? All right, you're going down with us, boys. You're going down either way.
And look who was there to pick up the extra kills. Ladies and gentlemen, GG are on 16 eliminations now. Fully set up for this end circle. Doing as well as YZG had in their final game of bi-weekly finals. And wow, it looks like SS1, the lone player of SS1, just going for the hold on this Sphero well, holding it for as long as humanly possible to be able to give these players chance and position to ult. And it looks like Juwon going to be the only one on the team to hold this. So we're going to see Water. Water has expended that ultimate, so we are going to see now coming through here all of these good weaponry for the team. They do have that Draco Storm buff now, and I'm surprised nobody else went for this. This is an interesting play. We are going to see now fully healed back into this game with the Kylan ultimate to try and see if they can make something happen. It looks like they aren't going to be able to get very much value out of that first ultimate, but we are going to be able to see them try and make something happen. They do still have their ultimates up and available. And that Draco Storm just going to heal so much. Oh my goodness. Right back up to full HP. Took away all the zone damage, all the Kylan ult damage, and now forcing the play over. They are going to try and focus themselves onto SR. Zhao going to be the target of this. We are going to see the Matari ultimate invested now for them. And this could be the calling factor for GG to back off, but they could try the full court press here as they know one ultimate has been burned. GG wanting to get, or SS1 wanting to get a piece of action as well. Looks like they have found Alliance. NY7 going to use that F to try and back off here as that 80% Moonbane has started to drop in. We are going to see the Moonbane entering into play. Last time we casted together, we saw about 4 or 5 eliminations from that Moonbane. You think we're going to see something like that happen again?
It's certainly possible, Seb, as the 80% Moonbane covering 80% of this safe zone is extremely spooky. But we'll see. Perhaps these teams have learned their lesson. Don't don't, you don't mess with the big purple snake in the sky, because he will obliterate you. So we'll see. So far, no one's gone down to the Moonbane. No one's dead. Get a little bit too comfortable in that area. But we do see a few teams wandering through, at least for the moment. But moving forwards, let's see how things go. Yumar taking a lot of damage right there from that range weaponry. Oh my goodness. TE just absolutely peppering him with bow shots. Oh my goodness, the scatter shot doing work. Yumar now having to hide in this bush, and his teammates forced to cover for him with those dual halberds RMBs to try and make sure that he doesn't continue taking fire from the firing squad down below. We've got this team looking to try and secure this spirit well with the White Tiger's prowess buff in play. It's definitely not as good as it used to be, but it certainly has a significant amount of value, as you're going to be able to reset those ultimates. We might see the Kylan pop ult and then capture this, and then immediately after his ult ends, pop another one and just continue slashing and dashing his way through the enemy players.
And it is one of these plays that we do get to see happen pretty often, when a Kylan is going to be able to hit that ult, get the reset, and come through. It is just incredible how fast they're able to get their ult back with that ult charge from the White Tiger's prowess buff. We're going to see now SS1's Xuan trying to make the play happen. Does have those Kylan slashes still left remaining, and another ult in the back pocket if need be. They are going to see if they can try and get some damage. It looks like they are going to be targeting out these players of Alliance Revenge. Forced to pop that ultimate. Xuan not going to pop that second ultimate here. They are just going to wait for these other players to start backing off and getting into this other area. Nobody getting extremely low, and it looks like NY7 able to get a nice F ability off, and FPX taking a whole lot of damage from that Syra. Kiki gonna drop that ultimate as well. They have the Kurumi ultimate up. We're gonna see SS1 Water now trying to go for the grab. It looks like they're able to get the grab off of on LXM, and this is horrible for GG. We are gonna see the Wu Chen port. Oh, I thought we saw the Wu Chen animation coming out, but it looks like we don't get to see it now. GG down a member. This is really unfortunate for their team here, as they were doing a very good job. 16 eliminations on the board. SS1 was able to do a great job with the follow-up here. It looks like LXM is going to be eliminated off of that. SR Junks now seems to have become the target. Now SR Rico doing a really good job at peeling, getting and knocking these players of SS1 away. Junks now taking a lot of damage. Xuan with that Kylan ultimate trying to make something happen onto Junks. Junks looks like he has been able to get away though. Xuan still trying to see if he can follow around, and it looks like they are going to focus onto the members of GG. GG crumbling in this fight here, as it looks like Xuan able to pick up another elimination, and the White Tiger's prowess coming into play here. Definitely, like you said, not as powerful as before, but still an extremely powerful resource for these players to be able to use. Wolves now on the other side getting hit by cannon fire from FPX. We're gonna see the Flamebringer coming out, and it looks like SS1's Water taking a lot of damage. Doesn't have its ultimate back up yet, and they're just gonna try and wait on that timer. Water trying to peel, but it looks like he's noticed all of these other players jumping into the mix. Doesn't want to mess with any of that, and it looks like LJX now is gonna get the grab off the TE's Peak here, trying to go for the double onto the members of FPX. Isn't gonna connect, sending Peak into the zone here. We're gonna see him try and get that grab as well on the TE's Youth in that Kylan ultimate. Is going to get himself grabbed here, trying to go for the double. Isn't going to connect on the double. Youth going to get himself slammed out and Peak now trying to come away with the grab as LJX and Xiaonan. All three members of TE had been grabbed by Wolves LJX, and now FPX Kiki in the sky grabs TE's Peak. All of these members of TE just trying to avoid these grabs and getting grabbed over and over and over again. The Monks coming out to play. SR Zhao, the double slam coming through. F going to get invested though, so they can get back and avoid the re-grab here. And it looks like WBG King has gotten eliminated. The double grab, double slam. TE Xiaonan, another re-grab going to come through. ZXE is going to try and get himself grabbed. And it looks like LJX is going to get eliminated. Jumping into that is his very own armor circle. FPX Kiki trying to make something happen. Look at that no damage given from the ultimate slash, just for the sheer amount of people that Shuwon is hitting with Kylan slash. Oh my goodness, knocking everybody into the air, getting the elimination on to a couple of these players. Shuwon barely making it back into the zone with the amount of HP he's got. We are going to see getting a bit of healing now. SS1 Water going to try and do some healing, has his ultimate back up again, and it's FPX versus SS1 with SR and TE still alive into the zone. I don't know where they are. Water going down is going to get himself eliminated here. FPX Tiki trying to hold the zone as best as possible. Wolf ZK going to get himself grabbed and sent into the zone. SR Rico in the skies. SS1 Zuon going to get himself grabbed as well. WBG is going to get eliminated. TE's Youth picking up a kill. SR Rico picking up a kill. Youth trying to be the last man standing, and it looks like he is. TE going to be the last player standing.
Absolutely massive. What an end game for game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. What a privilege to watch. How many months was that? I will say, I noticed that there were far more Kylin Tianhai zipping compositions in that M. And are you ready? Are you ready, Seb? Because these players are certainly ready, and they're getting oogly already on that Salvation podium.
You're going to see Wolves LJX already hopping on the Ballista. It looks like Xiao trying to hop onto the other side, but NiHQ going to be able to deny that. SR's Junks is going to get the elimination off onto ZK. And now Junks going to be trying to see if he can contest LJX on that Ballista now. Only a few shots remaining on that Ballista, I believe, so they could be able to get them out here. And it looks like they weren't able to come away with the silence. LJX, no weapon available. Junk's going to hop on that Ballista himself. And now Rico going to try and push him into Ballista range. We're seeing those dual blades come out. LJX is going to get himself uppercutted, but the F ability going to come through to be able to prevent the damage, but the follow-up is going to come through. And it looks like we're seeing ASE jumping on the Ballista, taking out NiHQ. ASC jumping in on the third party here. It looks like most of SR has been eliminated as well, so it looks like they're all going to take themselves to the Soul Altar, going for the Revive Alliance now, closer to the Plume Castle area. We're seeing NY7 with the Grey Pole Sword in hand, going to go for a Scale Rush, trying to see if we can get some bow shot damage off on it to the members of BBE. We're seeing already an ult coming up from, I believe that's NNE. Looks like ultimate has been put down, as I think that was just the F ability. We didn't actually get to see the Zai ultimate get released, as NY7 picking up a nice elimination, and now it is a 2v2 situation. Roy Hee getting dangerously low here. Follow up on a Devin. Absolutely crazy. But now we're going to see the ultimate coming out. This fight could turn around pretty quickly. We are going to see the Monk ult coming out, though. This could be it for BBE. If they do get themselves grabbed, it could be the end of them. Roy Hee doing a really good job of dodging out, though. Revenge trying to just back off and get the heals going, as ultimate is going to go down soon, though, for that. Oh my goodness, for Roy Hee. He is going to be extremely low. Definitely going to get himself grabbed. Oh my goodness. Roy Hee still trying to kite this out. 2v2 situation. Monk ult is going to go down here. They are on the back foot. Very low in HP. Devin's going to go down, and now it's a 2v1 situation. We've seen Roy Hee clutch up 3v1s in the past, but it looks like that's not going to be the case today, as Roy Hee is going to go down. NY7 picking, a Revenge picking up the elimination. NY7 doing a very good job with the Pole Sword follow-ups.
Very nice indeed. That grab, Roy dodging out of the way, his teammate being behind him, just getting instantly grabbed. Oh, he just wasn't ready for it, unfortunately. It spelled their demise. They did a very good job of stalling it out and fighting back here, but unfortunately the Tianhai, the zipping combined with all of that healing, the health bar reset from the Tianhai was just too much of a wall to climb, too tall to scale, unfortunately, but still a valiant effort nonetheless. It's a good showing as well, considering that BB unfortunately did not do very well in the previous bi-weekly, and perhaps they've turned up this week to prove a point, but so far it's not been going so well. But there is time left today. Still time left to prove themselves. And we are in the city of Tang with 5-1, and ASE very close to each other. Perhaps a little bit of bad blood, as if you remember from last game. 5-1 chase down ASE, and they refuse to fight. And it looks as though a similar situation is happening here. 5-1 is trying to find this engage, but ASE is giving them nothing. They have used one of their ultimates. They're trying to create the opening. Khan taking a significant amount of damage, getting forced to use that F into the ultimate, and now just like trying to chase them back down again. 5-1 still alive and kicking, but not for very long, I believe. Yin goes down, and now Pampy is next on the list. There he is. Boom goes the Dynamo, goes the Takeda. He goes down at ASE. It seems as though their playstyle is frustrate your opponent into making them make mistakes, as they're just making them burn so many cooldowns and then turning around and clutching it up and just winning in the ability rotation, denying them pressure and denying them these kills that they so desperately want.
It's the fabled rage bait strategy, and it seems to be working. It seems to be working very well for them. They are like, oh no, don't attack us, we're gonna run away, and then they turn it around. Psych, you thought
call an ambulance, but not for me.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. ASE picking up 3 beautiful eliminations in this game. So we're going to take a look at our scoreboard. FPX on 3, Alliance on 3, ASC on 3, SR along with 5-1 on 2, YZG on 3 as well, I forgot to mention, BBE and Wolves on 1 apiece, and no eliminations for the rest of the teams on the board. Alliance, now, they are one of the teams with a lot of eliminations. We are going to see getting close to the time where we might get to see a Yang spawning in. Some of these players still with their revives. It looks like Kiki still has a life left. So they might try and see if they can get some eliminations off onto some of these players. It looks like BBE not wanting to get into a fight right away. They only have 2 points on the board. 1 point from game number 1 and 1 point from game number 2. So they're going to want to take themselves into the late game here, as well as 5-1. No one really getting too aggressive. YZG with 3 eliminations still has the potential to get into a fight right now, but they have gotten themselves pretty scaled. Once you get to a certain level of loot, you don't want to lose it necessarily taking a less than optimal fight. So unless you're 100% sure you're going to catch somebody out without losing one of your players of your own, I don't think these players are going to fight until the Realm of Yang.
Yeah, going in for a fight, fully committing is not always the best idea. As you said, the Realm of Yang is coming through, and we can see these teams on the map rotating over BBE and SR, very close to this northern Yang portal. We have a YZG in Plume Castle, an ASE coming up from the south, potentially looking to go and get involved. 5-1 on the outskirts in the east, perhaps looting up and trying to salvage their game, trying to find these... find the loot that they need to continue onwards. Alliance, WBG, all rotating up to the north to Imperial Village, where FPX and GG are potentially going to be starting to scrap over this Yang portal. Perhaps they will hold off and simply go for the handshake and just stay clear of each other, make their way into the Realm of Yang. We'll see as we're taking a look right now. GG positioning, pushing FPX back somewhat. Just get back a little bit. Take a step back, buddy. We will fight you if you come at us. But looks as though no fight is going to be taking place just yet. However, that could not... wait a minute. No, the handshake has been made. It is no fight for us, guys. Waving that white flag. We don't want anything to do with it. We want to go into the Yang. And it's definitely the optimal choice, in my opinion. There's no need to fight right now. They all want in that Realm of Yang, try and get in there. But unfortunately, YZG is not going to be able to get in. A little bit too slow. Did not mash E as fast as these other players, unfortunately. Speaking of those other players, we've got GG and ASE, who did mash E rather effectively. And we're taking a look at that Viper, Justina, Syra composition here. GG 330 immediately popping that Tianhai ultimate. Here we are with the freezes. The kind of knock comes through, knocking them up. We get one grab onto ASE, missed. The slam comes through. 3-3-0. Gonna be looking to find another one. LXM trying to tech chase this Viper off the slam. Not able to do so, unfortunately. Now Mist popping that ultimate is gonna find the stun onto 3-3-0. CJS still jumping around in this Kylan ultimate, trying desperately to get back on his feet. Not able to, but the grab comes through. Mist extremely low. The crossbow in the air. The tracking beautifully done. They're able to somewhat equalize, but it's not enough. 1 versus 2 situation now. The slaps coming out from ASE. It's looking pretty cooked, Sid. I don't know if he's making out of this one.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. And now we're going to see Justina ulting again. Oh my goodness. The Justina ult coming up for a second time in that fight. And Xiaowen picking up another elimination for the team, as they are going to win themselves this round of Yang ASE. And like you said, wow, this comp is actually putting some numbers up here, being able to do a very good job of countering. I'm surprised we didn't see GG's Monk go for the grab on the Viper. I don't know if he knew that they were looking for that. They were going to try and just tap dodge it, trying to get out of the way. Could have been the play, but he still got himself stunned. Wasn't able to peel for his teammates that did get stunned by the Viper as well, who did not have that Monk ult to protect them. Unfortunate for them, but you know, GG does bounce back pretty quickly from these types of things. They are going to be able to get themselves some soul blooms if they find a team to eliminate. And it looks like, oh, we're checking bushes.
Ooh, wait a minute.
What?
There's no way they didn't see them, right?
No way they didn't just give they haul past them there. It looked like, okay, we're not going to fight you. We see you in the bush, but we're not going to take that fight. A little bit questionable, ladies and gentlemen, but we are going to see now SS1 trying to make something happen against WBG. Iran going to try and get some of these grabs off on to SS1 Zuan, but the Temi ultimate has been popped, allowing for them to be able to kite this out pretty easily. And now Iran becoming a huge target for the lobby, unable to make these grabs. And this is what I was saying, the terrain in where you ult in Holleroth is extremely treacherous, and he has not been able to pick up a single grab. Now WBG Zeron is going to get himself almost completely eliminated here, trying to tap dodge roll out of all of these fights. And it looks like ASE going to get on the third party. Yiron going to go down. Viper ultimate coming in from out of nowhere, and ASE's Mist going to be able to get Zhuan, but the Tessa stun going to come out, as well as the Syra stun. Kylan ultimate going to be invested as well. Zhuan has been silenced. Mist trying to make something happen. Zhuan has been stunned again. Water going to try and peel for his teammate. We do see Takeda ultimate available. Xiaowen is going to get himself eliminated though, and I believe that's NY7 with that elimination. Yuma coming in on the third party as well. Absolute insanity, and Alliance coming up on top for all of these kills here, as we're going to see almost every single team in the lobby converging on this same location. SR trying to join into the mix as well. Look at this fight. This looks like an end game circle here. It looks like these players have started to back off. A couple of these players have been eliminated. So we are going to see a Tessa charm coming out onto ASE. ASE now starting to get eliminated. SR jumping into the mix. SS1's Water going down. Alliance going to get hit with that Viper ultimate from Junks. Junks going to try and send some stuff out, but they are going to just hit the Wuchen port to get out of there. Port over to safety, as all these teams starting to back off of each other. It looks like GG was able to cure one Yang depletion, and now only one Yang depletion remains for the members of Alliance, and that is going to be on to Revenge. GG trying to make something happen to cure their Yang depletion, trying to get the fight off onto BBE, and it looks like Alliance is just going to back off here. Wolfsnai HQ able to get himself the elimination onto Revenge. Looks like there is the ballista play coming in from up top, and Devin getting hit by a huge ballista on CJS now as well. Going to get hit. The F from the Z-Ping going to come in and save so much of that HP, but two Syras now full force attacking onto CJS. Look at that health bar just getting absolutely decimated.
Let me move,
get a dash out. I'm falling it. I can't get up. I keep trying, but they keep knocking me down.
Oh my god. Oh, poor guy. That did not look fun. He got absolutely melted by those beams, the pulse shots as well. Just beset on all sides by Syra. It's unfortunate to say the least. No Kylanol is going to save you from that one. No, sir. He's not getting out. But it is what it is. Looking at the leaderboard, it looks as though only one team with Yang depletion remains, and that is BBE, who we are now taking a look at, fighting it out against SR. The parry comes through, beautifully done. NNE is going to go down, another member, and there it is. All three have been wiped. They've gone back to the lobby. Unfortunate indeed. That's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. They just haven't found it yet. They haven't found their footing. They need that confidence builder. They need to figure out a way to do a bit better in these lobbies, because they certainly have it in them, but it's just not been they've not been able to succeed so far in the bi-weeklies. But here we are taking a look at 521, who, on the other hand, the other SEA representation is actually finding their way in. They're finding a pretty decent fight, as they've already taken it down to a 3 versus 2. Fuan, now no armor remaining, is going to be the focus alongside his teammate Kiki, who's still in ultimate, but is not going to do anything in that numbers disadvantage. Ivan with a beautiful parry just to finish it off. Just the last nail in the coffin. He goes down. Now heading over into the realm of Yang, we have ASE and YZG. We've got the Kylin Tianhai zipping up against, I believe, the Viper Justina Syra. Miss popping that ult. Oh, no, not Miss, sorry. Han and Xiao Wen popping their ultimate. CXZ as well. TXJ in that Monk ultimate, finding the grab, finding the slam, knocking him down. TXJ now stunned up. He's going to be coming out of that CC very, very soon. The pulse shot coming through into the Justina dash as well. Into another pulse shot. TXJ, can I please move? No, sir. But ASE, they've used all their cooldowns. The slam comes through. The combo break to save him just in time. TXJ now hopping back over to his teammates. ASE going to be engaging now, looking to try and close out this fight. TXJ with that F is going to be able to protect himself for the moment. Xiao Wen now chasing down these players. CXZ looking to consolidate onto Mist. The Viper getting down extremely low HP. QGG is going to be the first to fall. Mist 1 HP, able to kite away. TXJ trying to salvage the situation. CXZ with that fist blades release, not going to find the damage. Xiao Wen using that combo breaker. Han now taking his chance to get in there. The combo comes through. Mist taking another player out, but the parry comes through onto TXJ, and there it is. It's over, Seb.
Oh,
this comp is cooking.
Goodness, it's the Yang comp for today, ladies and gentlemen. ASE have come to play with Viper Justina Syra. Wow. Twice in a row, I've expected this comp to fail and fall to the monk. And twice in a row, they've proved me wrong, and I'm absolutely loving it. Even though I love the monk comp, I love seeing a comp that is not typically played perform well, because it just goes to show that the skill that these players are able to make these comps that aren't technically the best comps ever, and they still manage to capitalize eliminations off of them. And I just think it's so beautiful to see that happen. So we're now going to be taking a look. It looks like SS1 won their Realm of Yang versus WBG. And yeah, YZG not having a great start to today. Either game 1 wasn't the strongest for them, and game 2 not looking to be too strong either. SS1, on the other hand, 7 eliminations on the game for them. 10 kills for ASE, so ASE might be MVP for game number 2, but in the overall standings, SS1 has climbed into that number 1 spot. GG, during that fight that we saw ASE versus YZG in the Realm of Yang, we did see GG getting knocked out in 10th position, going all the way from 17 kills in game 1 to 10th position with 3 kills eliminated in game number 2. Pretty big fall from grace, but you know, GG is a team that sometimes they pop off, sometimes they don't, and it's really one extremity or another. They either have an amazing game or they don't perform at all. And, you know, game 2, it looks like that's just how it's going to happen, as we are going to see SS1 versus WBG. You see the Mooncold come up, and water going to be peeling in the sky here. Now Syra ult invested. WBG's Leo getting extremely low here, and if they're able to take out oh my goodness, this is how they win. They take out the Z-Ping before anything else happens into this game. And a 3v2 with no healer, especially when you're on a hero like Kylan and Monk, it is going to be very difficult for you to make anything else happen. Every single slash that he's throwing out right now, he's losing HP if he doesn't connect. As we bring it back, Xing taking a lot of damage in Yiran. It's just going to get focused out in the 3v1 situation. They flip things back on over to Xing. Xing is going to go down, and the final cannon shot picking up the last elimination onto Yiran. Yiran not able to get that heal off. And they're now on that Yang depletion.
It's not looking good. Yang depletion. You know, you said about GG. I have to say, I've always found them to be a pretty consistent team. You know, they're the masters of endgame. But I think Yang depletion and the situation, the scenario within a lobby has been developed and understood a lot more as time's gone on. And I think that it's just become that much more difficult to truly survive and make it to endgame, especially when you have this Yang depletion. You know, teams that have Yang depletion, it's become a much more of a death sentence than it used to be. You know, before, obviously, before the Soul Blooms were changed so that they had a timer on them, Yang depletion was not that big of a problem. However, now, once it got changed, and then once teams and players sort of grew to understand the nuances and the finesses of this time period within a game, it became even more difficult to salvage your game once you do have this debuff put onto you. So I think that plays a major factor, because GG did lose their Realm of Yang, unfortunately, in the first Realm of Yang, and just couldn't recover, unfortunately. We saw them being a part of that massive fight close to the Ballista in the deserty area to the north. But yeah, in that kind of chaos, it's very hard to actually find those skills and those soul blooms. You know, you can occasionally snipe them away from the players and vice versa, but it's just not always to be. Sometimes it just cannot be done. But you know what, the WBG is looking to change that. They're trying to find these soul blooms, they're trying to find these kills, but 521's not making it easy for them, and neither is YZG and SR, who have all piled in. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. When I talk about this Yang depletion situation, I talk about this developed understanding of this situation. It's that these teams, they were waiting. They were waiting to try and find these fights that were bound to take place, considering that Yang depletion was afflicting at least a team in the lobby. So they knew this fight was going to take place. They just needed to lie in wait and find where the fight was going to go down. And here it is, SR being able to take full advantage of the situation with this massive third party coming through. No Yang depletion, no problem. They're playing the Viper comp, the Tessa, Wu Chen, the assassination, and they're able to take full advantage of that. CXZ now desperately trying to claw his way out of this spot, trying to survive. His teammate is alive for the moment, but I'm not sure if there's much he can do to help him, as the quick bow shot takes him down, and YZG is left with one member left standing.
From downtown with the bow shot. What a play from SR. And now QGG, we did see the rebirth charm coming out from them. They might be able to get that player up, but with the Tessa charm coming through, oh, good dodge from the F ability there, as it looks like we are going to see the silence isn't going to come out, but to no avail is the Assassin's Lunge and SR's Xiao with the gold dual halberds, and he's got that will form hook Soul Jade in addition to the golden rarity halberds. He is going to be a force to be reckoned with. In SS1, they have been the predominantly spirit well capturing team. They've been able to capture most of these spirit wells when it comes to this final circle and these last two spirit wells. They got both in the last game. We're able to put up a decent amount of numbers because of it. And we'll see if they're going to be able to do the same thing here. They are going to get one guaranteed. Nobody contesting them for this spirit well. And, you know, it's interesting. We've seen 2 games without any spirit well contest fights, where we usually see everybody piling on top of each other for the spirit well. We've seen people piling on top of each other for eliminations after Yang depletion, but not the players going for this spirit well fight. It looks like these players have sort of realized that they can't afford to go down to that Spirit Well fight. Otherwise, they're going to be in a very, very tough position when it comes to finishing off the rest of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it also, it's definitely to do with that, absolutely. I think it also is to do with this whole Yang depletion situation that I was talking about, because this Spirit Well, it's there and available during that time period. You know, I think the choices are usually consciously made as to whether or not you want to go Yang, or whether or not you want to go for, or not go for Yang, and then position yourself to try and take advantage of those teams who do have Yang depletion, or you opt to go for that Spirit Well and avoid the fight entirely. I think once a team has sort of consolidated their position on that Spirit Well, it's very hard to push them off without fully committing. And then because of that, if you are going to fully commit, because the Yang depletion teams are out there coming out of Yang, they're probably going to sort of take a peek, take a gander at those Spirit Wells, and if they find a fight, you know, they're gonna spawn in and they're gonna fully commit. And third-partying a fight like that, they could very well take out your entire game and just nullify your chance of continuing on. But we're going to move on into this final phase of the game as it starts to progress. The 5-minute mark is about to be reached. SS1 with this Draco Storm looking to dictate the pace of the lobby and position themselves on this last Spirit Well that is going to be spawning in now. Unfortunately, it is going to be a Mystic Might buff, so they're not going to get as much value as they possibly could have if it had been Draco Storm or White Tiger's Prowess. However, they're certainly going to be trying their best to get their hands on it, as they do have this Draco Storm, and it's going to be extremely hard for any of these teams to be able to contest them. The silence comes through onto Juan, but what are they going to do with it? Look at him. He's just vibing. You know, come at me, bro. Come at me. You think you can win this fight? Nah. We got Draco Storm, buddy. We got Storm Stride on steroids. What are you going to do about it?
The crouch cancel hold over and over again as well with the fan is just the most terrifying thing. The most terrifying mechanic in the entire game. It's like, am I going to throw the blue? Oh, no, I'm going to crouch. But I can just immediately go back to holding blue. No, I'm going to crouch again. Immediately goes back to holding blue. That the mind games that come with holding a fan, it's very difficult. So you got to know exactly when to be able to parry that. And, you know, on low ping, I bet these players are able to reaction parry that. But timing the parry is going to be very difficult, especially when Shuan. These players are such masters of the mind game and the timing, and it looks like SS1 is going to be able to capture this here. As a nobody going for more of a contest than the little amount that they had before. Shuan holding the inside of that Spirit Well. They're going to hold it for as long as possible before they absolutely have to pop it. They have lost that Draco Storm buff, though, so these players could have a bit of an easier job claiming that Spirit Well away from them, as it looks like 521 forced to use their Karumi ult pretty early into the game here, as they are not looking too strong right now. Yin going to be kiting out this situation as Water going to try and go for a full aggression play on to the members of 521. It looks like Wolves have gotten mixed up in this fight as well. Yin going to be taking to the outskirts of this zone, trying to back away. I've been doing a beautiful job at peeling those. They are going to be able to get a lot of damage off with the Syra ultimate, but oh my goodness, what a Viper ult there, almost capturing everybody. SR Xiao coming through with the Willful Hook from the dual halberd. Xiao picking up the elimination onto Pampy. We are going to see Xiao's team now teleporting out, using that Wu Chen to get in, get the eliminations, and get back out of there like nothing happened. They're now back on the top side of the map. You taking a lot of damage though right now, as the A's going to end up rotating over, and SS1 Shuan trying to make something happen with his Takeda ultimate, peeling for Zhuan now. They have that Mystic Might. They know where everybody's at, but they're not 100% sure of... They don't have that heal that they would have from the Draco Storm or the Mystic or the White Tiger's Prowess. We are going to see a lot of peel coming through. SS1 Water picking up an elimination onto Wolf ZK. LJX now in the Syra ultimate, trying to see if they can make anything happen on to SS1 Zuan. I believe the gold armor swap going to come through though. Huge saving moment for them. They are going to get themselves stunned out and knocked into the zone. This could be dangerous for them. They are going to see the peel coming up from Zhuan. Zhuan doing a really good job at peeling away from this. Yin is going to go down as LJX picks up another elimination. And oh my goodness, what a Viper ult coming through. Two Viper ultimates. Oh my god! Everyone's standing still. What is going on? Ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness.
What a Viper ultimate coming out from them. Absolutely just staggering every single player. As you said, everyone stood still for a moment, frozen in time, as they all looked around, ready to fight yet again, ready to make that decision to go for this next player. And look what's going down. These players are just dropping like flies. Ivan, NHQ, Zwan going down in the kill feed. Now Youth getting frozen up by Xiao Wen, getting his 6th elimination. The Justina, the Billy Justina coming through. Peak goes down. Xiao Wen taking a moment to figure out his next move. Pampy becomes the next target. The Viper ultimate is going to come out. The V1, I believe, is in play. He's now going to be able to stun out quite a few targets here. NY7 is going to be the next one. The combo break comes through, but it's not going to save him. Xiao Wen now going to get silenced by this Viper ultimate. It's not V1. It's not too dangerous. We're not on the current patch. Xiao Wen desperately trying to maneuver around this terrain. The Syra ultimate to back him up. The Soul Bloom gets consumed. The ultimate is back online, but it doesn't matter. It is over. And there it is. ASE. What a game. What a game across the board, Seb. But ASE are gonna be the MVPs of game number 2. Xiao Wen, the epitome of the Justina carry. Absolutely gaming. Right of the map. Now I'm going for that hidden cave, perhaps. But let's see. We're kicking it off with ASE and GG, Seb. And Mist looks like he's a bit outnumbered.
And it's not looking too good, but GG going to start the back off here as ASE going to try and get a bit of a press onto the action. None of these players have armor. That's the problem for GG right now, is if they don't have that safety netting of the armor to take into this fight. We're going to see the Scale Rush come out. Xiaowen trying to come through with the parry, missed with the F onto one of these players of GG. It looks like it wasn't able to connect. Xiaowen going to try and go for the Scale Rush, but the F from both the Zai and Matari. ASE Mist going to try and make something happen with the parry. Isn't going to be able to come through with too much, and Han is going to end up getting eliminated. Scale Rush going to come through here. 2v1 scenario. Pole Sword, not the best weapon to come through. He's going to switch over to the Katana, but it isn't going to be enough. We do see the ultimate come out, and it looks like he does go down, though. 330 picking up the elimination in the 2v1 scenario, winning that to revive his teammate. We're flipping over now. Alliance versus SS1, and YZG in the mix as well. NY7 with the Pole Sword in hand, going to try and make something happen. Beautiful tap dodge away from those blue nunchucks that are in the hand of TXJ, and the Pole Swords are just so incredibly strong of a weapon. They're able to get the elimination there, and now they're flipping over onto the 2 players of SS1 that they see in the distance. We're going to see the Matari dash come through, and the follow-up from the Zai F. Ultimate popped from the Matari. Yuma trying to make something happen as well with the Kylan ultimate, able to get the follow-up, and just the one stun from the Kylan ult is able to guarantee them that elimination.
It is indeed, and here we are taking a look at FPX and WBG. Now Yeran sitting on the outside, throwing those longsword horizontal wind slashes into the team, trying to find some chip damage. This Kylan, an absolute menace, dashing through these players. The Kurumi tether is in play, keeping him topped up on that HP. Fwan is going to get targeted now by Yeran, but able to quickly teleport over to his teammate. Yeran is also going to be on the mark along with Kiki. Kiki beating him to the punch. Now taking a bit of health off of Yeran with that stomp, but Yeran chasing him down onto this little roof. Kiki jumping away, having lost one of his teammates. ZGE is down for the count, and now Kiki looking extremely vulnerable, trying his best to hop and skip away, but it's not looking too good for him. The grab misses, but the second one isn't going to, and there it is. He's going to close it out. WBG claiming 2 eliminations off of this skirmish. 1 member left alive of the opposing team is going to be trying to salvage the game moving on. And it looks as though Alliance is taking down 5-1 in the kill feed. I believe Alliance picking up there. Is that 8? Do my eyes deceive me, Seb?
Oh my goodness.
8 eliminations for Alliance within, 40 seconds of the game beginning? What on earth is that? That's absurd.
That is almost unheard of, ladies and gentlemen. Alliance have lost 2 members right now to the members of the Wolves. Wolves were able to pick up 2 kills onto Revenge and NY7 in the kill feed that we saw earlier. Just a second. Wolves now up to 6 eliminations. These players are getting so many kills so fast, as it looks like these early game skirmishes are really just doing some crazy things. And it looks like Yuma is going to go down. These players on Alliance are going to take themselves to a soul altar to rescale really quickly before re-entering this fight, trying to hit up a Realm of Yang. But wow, what a play. And it looks like ASC was able to pick up 1 elimination. And after the early game skirmishes, 7 kills for Wolves, 8 for Alliance. We're not even 5 minutes into this game, ladies and gentlemen. This is how fast-paced we're getting here. TE now sees WBG, and it looks like they are going to try and go for this fight. WBG not wanting to take this, as they are very, very lowly scaled, and they don't have any lives remaining. Kylan Ultimate almost online for them. Zipping Ultimate available if needed. Kylan Ultimate is going to get invested in E-Round now. Doesn't have his Ultimate available, so this could be a dangerous investment into the fight. Looks like they are just going to back off really quickly. They did burn the Atari ult, so TE going to back up. Interesting play from TE here. I would personally take the fight, as it looks like Youth is going to jump right back into this. They have the ability to try and make something happen, and they see that Shing getting dangerously low there from the ult. Ultimate has gone down, and now he's got nowhere to run. Ultimate going to be invested on the side of Youth, but the terrain grief going to come in. The uppercut into the combo. Oh my goodness, all the way down the hill into the F. Oh my goodness, TE's Youth. What a play.
Okay, buddy. Alrighty then. It's just Jing's just like, okay, GG's, I guess, bro. What the hell? Why you do this to me, huh? Just a Zai masterclass, beautifully done. And this, it's a rare sight to see, but this is the Zai potential. Another rare sight to see is the pink Twin Tails hairstyle. What am I looking at right now?
That's some drip right there, Devon.
That's he's dripped out right now. Hey, very fabulous indeed. The Twin Tails, an ode to April Fools, perhaps, that recently passed us by. Oh, I remember when the Twin Tails originally got teased. For those of you who weren't there, the Twin Tails was teased as a new weapon that was coming to Naraka. There was a video showcase and everything. It was very funny. It was an extremely good April Fool's meme that we all very much enjoyed, and they ended up bringing it out as a hairstyle. But I always think back to that day when I saw this. I was just like, what? No way, right? And no, it wasn't to be. Speaking of April Fools, we've had this this recent April Fools with this a skin change on attack, which is very cool. If you haven't checked it out, make sure to go and check out all the events that have recently dropped in from the new season of Naraka, season 16, Ignis, starting up just a few days ago. A lot of goodies, a few changes here and there, and a lot of cosmetics to be claimed and purchased. But for the moment, we're back to game number 3. We've got the Realms of Yang spawning in, and a lot of these teams are making their way over to these portals. This northern portal looks as though it's going to be very hectic, with YZG, SR, SS1, and I believe one more team all rotating up towards it. Who is going to be getting into that Realm of Yang? We'll have to see in a few moments. But SR, being on this Viper composition, might not be looking to actually go in, but instead to attempt the grief on these players who are indeed trying to go in. Or instead, perhaps they're going to try and get their hands on this stash, on this cave, the treasure cave instead.
It looks like they are going to be going for the cave here, holding out for that, as we do see some pretty good cave fights happen, and we are going to see the portal getting dropped. Alliance looks to drop onto this location, as well as all of these players are starting the contest over here. We're going to see these players starting to enter the Realm of Yang, as we see Yang has definitely already filled up. We're seeing ASC is going to be able to make it in there, so we are going to get to see them take on 5-2-1. as we are also going to see our fight here. CXZ from YZG fighting onto Roy. He is going to get himself parried in the air. Devon is going to get thrown down by the F from the Takeda. Now we're seeing Devon ultimate ready to go. We're going to see Roy. He has been brought dangerously low. YZG trying to make something happen with the Siphon. And it looks like the Takeda ultimate wasn't able to do too much for them there, as all three players of BBE still alive, able to get back up to full health. And now BBE on the offensive, QGG taking so much damage. They're going to be able to get the grab off onto him. But the defense from TXJ just doing a really good job. They are still able to get the slam as the ultimate is going to go down. Roy, he taking a lot of damage here, losing that immortality proc as well, just getting stunned over and over and over again. TXJ with a laser focus aim, able to take out 1 and 2, and then 3 coming shortly after. NNE going down, and YZG picking up a beautiful win in the Realm of Yang. ASE still on their fight in the Realm of Yang. It looks like Xiaowen has just taken out Pampy, so it could be a 2v1 scenario. We don't know exactly who has won that Realm of Yang fight just yet. We're going to see it in just a second here, as I believe 521 has lost. Yes, they have. SR now. Junks getting caught out. It looks like he is away from his team. These players jumping in. We're seeing the F from the Matari coming through, comboed with the F from the Zai, as we like to see the players jump in, get the stun from the Matari F thrust, and then we see the Meteor Rocket coming through from the Zai F, launching these players, dealing that extra damage with the burn, getting the extra amount of CC onto that player, and confirming a lot more kills. I love that they use that in sequence with each other. The both Fs, one after another. It just, I can't move, I can't do anything, and it's just textbook.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's you can see the evolution of these compositions and of these strategies. You know, it's gotten to a point now that the Zai's F, it's just it's the Zai's job to try and get this F off, get this knock up onto a player, and his teammate's job to just prevent them from being able to do anything about it. And then as soon as that knock-up comes through, here we go, we're going to get to see it. The combo's coming in. The Tamilk is going to be able to put down that ultimate to peel for his teammate. The Matariel comes through. Youth now getting his F to reset. QGG, look at his health. It doesn't matter if the Tamilk is there to peel for him. He's just getting chipped down lower and lower and lower. The dashes coming to chase him down. The dazzle coming through as well. QGG desperately trying to stay alive. And this is YZG, by the way. They are not a weak team. They are extremely good at what they do. The Zai coming through as well. ASE looking for the third party. The Justina is going to be coming through. Is that a gold? Greatsword I see. It is indeed. The Viper ultimate coming through. Jiao Wen with the big damage. The Scale Rush going to be able to claim another elimination for his team, going up to, I believe, 7 in total, and then not slowing down just yet. So we've got one more dash in the bank. It goes through. It doesn't freeze, unfortunately. The combo break comes through for the Syra, the parry, but the F from Xiao Wen is going to negate that damage, and they're going to take him down regardless. TXJ going down in the kill feed along with Xiao Nan, and now moving on over to BBE, who are trying to take advantage of this weakened YZG, as they have 2 members down in Cairn form with only 1 left alive. Oh, no, wait, and there it is. The last one goes down, and they're all in soul form. Having had that Vermilion Birdsmite, they aren't down completely just yet. GG now getting into the mix along with 521 and BBE. Pampy looking for those grabs, not able to find it, but they have managed to clench 2 of those Yang depletions from their loss in the Realm of Yang. Han now going to go down. The Soul Bloom is available, but Pampy, he's still in that Vajra state. He's not going to be able to pick it up just yet, and he may end up going down. Unfortunately, they do have money if they do choose to go for that res angle with the Rebirth Charm. However, he needs to stay alive for that to happen, as he has the majority of that cash. Now moving over to the BBE, who also have Yang depletion. They are in a bit of a desperate situation, as they only have 50 seconds and counting to cleanse this Yang depletion with those Soul Bloom pickups.
And we are going to see them get a nice grab onto LXM, but LXM with that Matari ultimate going to be getting a lot of HP back. It looks like he's able to dash away. Devon's ult going to go down here as Roy Hehe, 1 HP in a dream right now, trying to escape the situation. It looks like LXM going to be able to pick up that elimination. TE's Peak trying to see if he can get some pistol shots off onto Devon. Devon getting extremely low here as YZG looks to be able to try and clean up that elimination. BBE getting eliminated 12 out of 12. I believe that's 3 games in a row now. They've been first team to go out. 5-2-1 finally. They have been having some pretty good games, but right now they are going to get themselves eliminated in 11th place here. And SR going out slightly after them in 10th. 3 teams eliminated in under 2 minutes here as we see these teams starting to crumble under the pressure. I believe that's all the Yang depletion teams. No one has depletion or a buff anymore. Everyone has either been cured or eliminated. I believe BBE and 521 and SR all had that Yang depletion, so I think that was all 3 of the teams that lost have been eliminated. And WBG has lost 1 of their team members. ASC was doing a good job at cleaning that up. Now taking a look at our kill score, a couple of these teams have caught up. GG at 6, ASC at 8, Wolves still at 8 elimination, Alliances jumped to 10, TE's on 5, SS1 on 2, WBG on 2, as well as Fun plus Phoenix. And wow, what a game so far. Wolves looking to go into the realm of Yang here. They don't want to be first in, going to let the time run down a little bit, trying to min-max this as much as possible, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, the buffs that you win from, the buffs that you earn from winning in the realm of Yang have a certain amount of time on them. Being able to take those buffs later and later into the game is extremely valuable. So these players will go in at the very last second and take the fights as long as possible so that they can have the buffs for the longest period of time going into the game when the timer is at its lowest. We're going to see ASE jumping into the realm of Yang again. They are they're 3 for 3 on this comp in the realm of Yang. So we're going to see if they can go 4 for 4. They're fighting against the fabled YZG, the winners of Biweek 1. So this could be a bit more of a difficult game for them. It looks like we are going to see the ultimates come out right away from YZG. They're incredibly aggressive. Temi ultimate going to be unleashed, and ASE's Han going to get singled out here. Already out of the ultimate. Han is going to go down. This is not looking too good for them. Not exactly the execution they wanted, but YZG's TXJ just doing a beautiful job right now. They need to see that Viper ultimate come out. We're going to see the freeze coming through. Missed now, 1 HP in a dream. Going to try and see if he can make something happen with this Viper stun. Isn't going to be able to get too much value from it. Is going to go down, and now the 2v1 situation against the Justina. We do see 1 elimination for them. CXZ is extremely low. We could see the elimination off onto them, but the uppercut into the 2-1-1 from the staff, into the follow-up from the fan. And there we go. 3 for 4. Still not bad for those realms of Yangs, and YZG starting to pick up the pace again, as we're now going to be flipping over Nye HQ versus TE's Peak, the 2v1 situation. I believe there's a bit of hope for him here, as LJX is extremely low. If he's able to get a nice little combo off, getting some prio here onto Nye HQ, has to avoid this silence though, and there we go. LJX with the musket shot from downtown, going to finish up that elimination.
Beautifully done by both of these teams. I'm very impressed by YZG able to take down this comp. The Syra Tumulk Takeda is the comp that takes down the Viper Justina Syra. Very interesting to see. We saw the prowess of that composition, but against this, it seems as though it didn't really have a chance. It could just come down to execution and how well YZG played the fight. They popped that Syra ultimate early, able to make full use of it along with that Tumult ultimate, locking down a singular player and making it that 3 versus 2 that they wanted, that they desired. But here we are taking a look at FPX and SS1, scrapping it out next to this Ballista Tower. The Kylin resetting those grabs for his teammate. Kiki able to re-grab multiple times, but unfortunately it's not enough damage, as he doesn't, he has only a rare weapon, a blue hang sword, and now is left to the Wolves, the GG crew rolling up and absolutely eviscerating him, leaving no option for him to disengage and survive this situation. Now it's YZG rolling up. It looks as though Zwan is the next on the chopping block, and SS1 are looking is not looking too good for them. I believe they've only lost the one member, but it's in a pretty dangerous position to try and go for this res. Zwan now going deeper into the storm. YZG trying to chase him down, but not looking to waste their time and risk this chase with the storm creeping in and going further and further away from them as they chase onwards. So it's not really worthwhile, I don't believe.
Yeah, the initial chase without that much storm damage going to be taking in, plus the Draco Storm buff is going to be a bit of an advantage to them. But they can go and find more people in the circle, just like this player from FPX here. I believe that's the last remaining FPX player, ZGE. Going to be trying to kite around the tower, but taking storm damage as he goes around. Needs to get away from this area. We're going to see the Assault Smolder from the Nunchucks going to be doing a lot of burn damage, and this is going to be it for Fun Plus Phoenix in game number 3 as ZGE going to get themselves eliminated. And YZG finally picking up the pace here in game number 3. It looks like they needed a second game to warm up here. And oh my goodness, Xiaowen could be getting a huge freeze off here. And it looks like they are going to be able to get the kill onto Yuma. What a play. Revenge going to get frozen as well. The double freeze going to come in. NY7 going to be able to get the grab off on to Xiaowen. Xiaowen going to use that last Justina dash to just be able to kite away from this situation. That was a beautiful stun by Mist and a beautiful Justina dash. Looks like he's got 3 dashes on the board still, as he could have picked up some Soul Blooms. Looks like we are going to see ASE rotating. Look, beautiful movement with that greatsword there, as we normally only see Pole Sword in the MBPL. And you must be so happy, Duncan. I know you are a huge greatsword enthusiast, being the Tarka player that you are, and it must be great to see for you.
It is indeed, and with a beautiful greatsword skin on top of that. But greatsword, you know what? It does do more damage than Pole Sword does. The horizontal one-charge focus attack does a bonkers amount of damage. It's way more than a singular hit from the R&B focus from Pole Sword. So, as long as you're able to pilot it well, and as long as you've got something in the back pocket if you need to try and chase someone down, but then again, you're playing Justina, so you can still chase people with those dashes, you're gonna get a lot of value. But I am surprised to see it. I have to say, I'm surprised to see it not be swapped into a Pole Sword, because that's usually how things have gone in the past. But you know what we're taking a look at right now? We're looking at GG getting surrounded here in this building. Unfortunately, the mushrooms outside taking them down pretty low. This Kylan trying to make his way inside, but not able to do so. Unfortunately, 330 doing a good job of deterring their entry and this onslaught. So they're going to be able to get their resurrection off onto their teammate. For now, Wolves taking down another player. Jing is down, but he's going to quickly be resurrected. The Kylan is back on his feet. And look at that. We have 2 rebirth charms coming through from ASE. ASE going to be able to salvage their game going it forwards. And they've got quite a few kills. It did go down in the realm of Yang, but it's not doing too badly whatsoever. We've got GG, and we've got, I believe, Wolves up there as well. All on 10 plus eliminations. TE doing it pretty well for themselves as well. But I'm looking forward to ASE to see what they can do going into this endgame as the zone is starting to close in. YZG in a very strong position, looking to secure themselves this Spirit Well. Also on 10 plus eliminations. Takeda ultimate going to get utilized before the pop comes through, resetting that ultimate, ready to go, ready to engage. Unfortunately, it is only Mystic Might. But then again, Mystic Might could actually be quite useful in this scenario, as there's a lot of trees, a lot of tree houses, and it might give them the information that they need to continue snowballing forwards.
There are a lot of places to hide in Sunwing, and I'm excited. We saw it earlier, mushrooms coming into play, and Peak now with those mushrooms could take a lot of damage. And oh my goodness, the bow shot from Shuan to pick up the elimination there. And this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Those poison mushrooms, the purple mushrooms that you are going to see around the map, if hit, will send out a cloud of poison damaging anybody over time. And it is a hefty amount of damage, if I do say so myself. And it looks like ASE's Han going to get eliminated here with a nice little bow shot from Wolves NIHQ. As it looks like they might try and go for the resurrection on their teammate. They need to keep all 3 members alive if they want a standing chance into this final circle here. With 18 players left, 6 minutes remain. Most of the teams, the majority of teams still alive, have 10 plus kills. There's 5 teams with 10 plus eliminations on the board. We're taking a look at the Soul Jades. I'm no Severio, but I could do my best. I saw at least one Varja's Grip, which is the Jade. If you get parried, you will not lose your weapon. As Xiao Wen now taking a lot of damage. YZG have found him out and are going to try and capitalize on this elimination. It looks like he is going to be forced to back off. And Alliance's Revenge going to get himself eliminated here. He was the last remaining player of his team. So Alliance has gotten himself eliminated here. WBG now on the side of, oh my goodness, and there's Mist going down, getting themselves eliminated. That's 11 eliminations for YZG here, and Mist going to get himself eliminated as well. Oh my goodness. ASE is showing so much promise to be able to carry this into the end game, but I believe they've only got Xiao Wen left alive here. The bow shots from NIHQ and the finisher from YZG to take off their 2 members. And now we've got an incredibly close game for 2nd and 3rd place here.
Absolutely. The scoreline is very close. It's very competitive right now. And I believe this Spirit Well is going to be contested pretty heavily. We do have that Mystic Might, but I don't think it's going to be much of a deterrent moving forwards as it is expiring and this Draco Storm is only just now spawning in. Wolves taking it upon themselves to jump into that Ferrier mech. ZK looking to pull out those turret shots and find this damage and potentially secure themselves this Spirit Well. It's not going to be easy as these teams are now closing in on them. ZK holding strong. YZG now looking to find a way in. That F1 is in play from the Takeda, now forcing them out. That Wild Wind Spout is going to be an excellent deterrent, along with that Merciless Havoc. Merciless Havoc, we all know how good this is at holding space and securing that real estate for yourself, as you can just turn it around mid-animation, deny the possibility of a parry, and just fully push all of these players in the vicinity away from you and secure this space for yourself. But are they going to be able to manage it? Run. He's peeking in. He's trying to find a way in. He does have Monk Ultimate. He might be able to find it, but no, they are going to secure it before they can do anything. TXJ now diving in with that ultimate, with another ultimate in the back pocket, ready to go. CJS is the initial focus. The F comes through, going to the skies. TXJ trying to track him through the air, able to do so. Oh my goodness, the tracking beautifully done. CJS has nowhere to go. The Wild Wind Spout, everything just fully cooking him. CJS goes down, the Soul Bloom ready to be picked up, but they're not going to pick it up just yet. It seems they're waiting until one of them ults and then needs to actually pick up this Soul Bloom. Xiao Wen, it seems as though he became the focus of one of these teams, one of these players forced to heal up down on the low ground with only blue armor. He is a very vulnerable target for any of these players to look to focus down. And now YZG turning their sights over to these other players. They're literally smack bang in the middle of this zone, and they can just pick and choose their target. Looking up now to the sky, we've got SS1 going up and down, but no, YZG turn their attention over to GG330, now becoming the target and getting slammed into the ground. QGG with that Takeda ultimate, making it unwinnable for poor GG, fully eliminated. 11 eliminations, still pretty solid, but not where they wanted to end up in this game number 3, Seb.
They definitely had a promising outlook for the final circle to be able to come through. They are very good when it comes to that very final circle in the end game. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pull through, getting picked off one by one by the Draco Storm. That Syra ultimate coming through really messed up the flow of their gameplay. TXJ doing a phenomenal job at that. And Xiao Wen, hiding in a tree, got knocked off the tree by the Draco Storm of the Syra when Syra was chasing the members of GG and became a target for a couple seconds in that lobby. Able to find the reset though, as we are going to see him scaling these trees. WBG's Yiran now trying to get these crabs from up into the sky. If he's able to pick up one of these grabs, I'm going to be incredibly impressed. It looks like he hasn't been able to make anything happen so far, as looks like the members of Wolves have become the target. It looks like Water did get grabbed here. Miran with a crazy grab. And look at how quickly they're able to shark it down the HP of Miran. Oh my goodness, this Draco Storm is absolutely so powerful here, as TXJ going to try and make something happen. I believe that is their Tumultra ult, as Zeron going to be getting taken extremely low here. We're seeing the bell get popped. F ability from the Zeeping going to come through. Wolves now getting stunned out. TXJ trying to force them into the zone. The Takeda ultimate going to come through doing so much. ZK trying to make something happen with the Justina is going to be unable to. We're seeing the pillar come out, but not enough, as they almost had that ultimate coming through from the Feria. And now one more Furen shove from QGG going to send these players out into the zone. LJX, their next target. They're able to take him out. They're knocking these players down one by one. ASE still kiting this out here. Xiao Wen doing a very good job of being able to hold away from all these other players. And WBG still with all three of their members remaining. YZG as well. Wolves are starting to get brought extremely low. SS1 Zuwan picking up a nice elimination onto WBG's Yiran now. And TXJ with ultimate available again could decide to pop off here. It looks like they are going to try and save that ultimate for as late as possible into this game, as YZG with all gold armor, Water now going to pop that ultimate. Jing Xing from WBG sending through those Kylan slashes left, right, and center, seeing if he can knock people out into the zone. It looks like YZG trying to hold position. Wolves ZK with more HP though. SS1, 8 seconds left. Water versus Wolves. Now 3 members remaining, 2, 1, and YZG, the sole survivor. I thought we were going to have a tie there for a second. The jabbing coming through, and YZG is going to take it as MVPs of game number 2.
They are indeed YZG. They're coming for that title.
I think that is the right play for them as well. I mean, yeah, either way, you know, getting that puzzle early is definitely something that you want to do. Having that gold weapon is a really big advantage. The burn damage going to come in onto QGG. Alliance Revenge going to be able to catch him out here, but the Pulse Sword follow-up from the member of YZG to be able to come and try and peel for QGG. It looks like QGG is going to get eliminated here. Soul Boom going to be collected by Revenge, and now CXC going to try and make his way out of this fight. Stoneform going to get locked in for the Syra of YZG. Oh my goodness, CXC going to come through. Oh my goodness, Duncan, the greatsword play is come out and shown in full force today.
I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. It's always fun to see. Sadly, they usually get turned into pulse swords. Well, here we are with 521 and SS1 down in the south in this area, which, if you don't know, chat, is extremely useful for recovery and also a pretty solid starting position, as there's a significant amount of money to be found here. There's a little basement that you have to break some boxes to get into. It looks as though Pampy's managed to find himself some fireflies. Popping that Viper ultimate, the V1 is going to get the stun onto Water. He's not going to be able to deform just yet. They are doing as much damage as they can, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The silence comes through. Pampy now looking to find an opening with the staff, getting that R&B onto the SS1, zipping Ying. The parry comes through onto Iben, though. Iben immediately getting grabbed now. Water getting locked up by that Tessa Charm. The slam comes through, but it's not enough damage to take him down. SS1 now one person down. A 2 versus 3 scenario. The jump, the slam comes through, but he's not going to be able to reactivate. The parry, beautifully done, and SS1 is falling apart at the seams. 521 is dismantling them and absolutely obliterating their early game. 521, what a fight.
I'm loving the improvement that 521 has shown. They have been a team that is usually getting eliminated first. I mean, BBE last season showed a little bit of promise, and 521 was just not able to keep up with any of these players. And I'm loving the fact that 521 has been able to take the offseason to just improve, get back to where they need to be mentally as a team. And now they're showing that they're able to compete on the big stage with these players and not just get eliminated off rip and then second life taken away before first Yang even drops. I remember seeing them get double eliminated right off the bat of games last season, and now they're really showing up to play.
You know what's funny about that? Is that the BBE members, Iben and Fat Milk both went to 5v1.
Yeah. And now the members of BBE just not able to do as much as they would like, as we're going to see the huge regrab coming through onto NNE. 2 slashes from the Kylan, knocking him up into the air. They're not able to get the final grab. This could be detrimental to that. They are still able to pick up the elimination, though. What a beautiful play. Devon going to get smacked into the air. The follow-up coming through onto him. The regrab, the double grab. Oh, no, he doesn't get the slam. Oh, my goodness. Xiaonan with the blunder, but they're going to be able to try and clean this up really quickly here. 3v2 scenario. Big parry from both Xiaonan and Youth. Roy Hee, the last remaining player. We've seen him 3v1 once before, but it was on Monk, and I don't know if he's got it in him today. Roy Hee not going to be able to come away with a 3v1 play there. And TE picking up 3 eliminations. What a beautiful play by them to be able to come away with that. Going to be flipping over. It looks like ZK from Wolves jumping into this fight here. We're going to see the F ability come out from him quickly. TE's Peak going to be the one to get the silence off. Big parry coming through. Youth going to get himself eliminated. Now flipping over onto Xiaonan. Xiaonan, the last remaining player. They are going to get the Tessa stun before he's able to ult off. NY7 from Alliance dropping the Bane now coming through. ZK going to get himself eliminated. They are going to be able to retransport out of there, though. Revenge now going to flip over, finding a purple armor, not fully replenished, though, so he's just going to jump into this with no armor. His team is going to try and go for the chase onto Wolves. It looks like ZK is going to have to take himself to a soul altar, and LJX has been caught out in this situation. 1 member alive remaining from Alliance, but they have the revive, so they're going to take themselves to a soul altar to rescale their fight.
Indeed, that's pretty rough, I have to say. But 5-1 showcasing it. These Viper comps. This is why it's called the Attack on Titan. That's why it was originally called this, because it just obliterates those Transformer compositions. This Kylin Tianhai comp is essentially just Transformers, but in a different form, and they just absolutely cook them. Extremely, extremely good. But the thing is, it's not easy. You have to execute it very well. You have to have your protocols down pat. You need to know who to target, when to use these abilities, and actually landing them. It's just, it's beautiful play. I will say that the Viper composition, although it seems very easy on the face of it, you just ult them, you silence them, and then you win. Nah, it's a lot more than that. It's not as easy as it looks. The amount of time and effort invested into truly figuring this out is significant, to say the least. But here we are. Let's take a look at GG, who are unfortunate for BBE. Devon is being chased down in the 1 versus 3. His teammates are alive, but they're nowhere near him, unable to aid in his escape, and it's fully taken advantage of. It is what it is. BBE, thankfully, it's probably for the best. Left as a sacrifice, so to speak, just so that you cut off the arm so that the body may survive. And BBE still has 2 members left alive, and they will attempt to salvage this game moving forwards. But as expected, and as we usually see, the early games of these Firefly games are very active, very oogly, so to speak. But as soon as that initial phase of the game is over, we see a lull in the fighting, a lull in the combat, as all of the teams, they have to be careful, because any team that they run into, because the Fireflies are in play, could very well have ultimate. They might be pretty scaled up. They may have picked up a few kills. You can get a decent picture, a decent idea of how much by paying attention to the kill feed, but you can never be sure. And you also have to prioritize making sure that if you get jumped by one of these teams, that you're not going to just go down instantaneously. Speaking of, it looks as though BBE Roy Hee has been spotted out. GG has made it their mission to slowly but surely assassinate every single member of this team.
Yeah, GG doing a really good job of just following up and staying persistent. They're in the zone. They're going for the kill, not wanting to let any opportunity pass them by. And it looks like there are still 2 players left in BBE, as they're just going to head into the zone here. And I think they might just take their lives, as GG has spotted out Devon And this is not good for BBE. They are going to be going up pretty early again here. This is really unfortunate to see this happen. They are in the zone, so the Storm is going to be doing a lot of damage. No Vitalia left for them. They could try and make it out, but I doubt that they're going to be able to in time. So this is just a really unfortunate circumstance for them. As this Realm of Yang is about to drop, it looks like we're going to see YZG heading in there, and the Realm of Yang closes before GG's even able to make it anywhere near the portal. You're going to see...
Bit of a blunder from them, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, they were going for the chase on the elimination, so I do understand where they're coming from.
Oh, no, they died to the zone.
BB is going to get completely eliminated here, not able to make it back into the zone. That's going to be their game number 4, and I don't even think there's a single point on the board for them. You're going to see YZG versus Alliance right now. Fairy Mech already up for YZG CXZ. You're going to see QGG just trying to scale around with the Pulse Sword, getting hit with a lot of damage now. The Syra ultimate going to be doing so much. Trying to tap dodge away here, going to be forced to pop that ultimate. Does end up getting a freeze off on the NIHQ, or NY7 actually, as a Yuma trying to make something happen as well. We're going to see the F dash coming in from the Zai. But oh my goodness, the cannon fire from the Fairy Mech mixed with the suppress from the Syra just coming through. Absolute insanity right now. YZG gets the double freeze off, gets it a second time here, and this is that Justina. When the Justinas come to play, they're absolutely lethal. CXZ going to try and make something happen with the uppercut, going to come through into the F, and this is going to be it. Oh, Peel coming through. NY7 going to be down, losing ultimate here. Jumping element going to come through, but the F2 from Yuma going to be able to seal the deal on that elimination, and TXJ goes out next. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Alliance taking the win in the first Realm of Yang.
That is rough to see for YZG. It's not the start that they want, but on the other hand, Alliance are very happy with their performance. This comp, this is the budget comp, so to speak, as we've referred to it in the past, as you can get away with simply having 1 purple armor on your Zai, and you could still be as effective as so many other compositions without the need to scale up. But now that they do have the scaling, it's almost overkill. They've got so much power, so much potential now with triple purple armor. The golden weapons is going to be massive for them. Exactly what they want moving forwards. And it looks as though they're going to be going up against SS1, who also similarly won their Realm of Yang. NY7 now being the focus of 2 players, using that F ability to space out, look for the potential stagger, the knockup, but not able to find it, unfortunately. Now Alliance pulling the trigger on this Syra ultimate. Water doing the same thing with the Tianhai. Zwan, having been forced to use that zipping ultimate, is being chased down, just constantly being focused by this Matari, but the double grab is gonna come through. Absolutely massive from SS1. NY7 popping the ultimate in the air, dashing away, but where you go, boom, where you going, son? Come back here, buddy. But oh goodness me, it's getting turned on its head. TE has arrived. They've rolled up and they're going to be picking apart SS1 in this weakened state, having no cooldowns available. They're going to be chasing them down and potentially cleansing this Yang depletion that they need to do if they have any chance of survival.
Yeah, and Youth able to pick up a Soul Bloom. It looks like Xiaonan the only player left with that Yang depletion. If you get the majority of your players off of the depletion, it's not as difficult for you to try and come back into this game. You can always buy your teammate back who dies to the depletion. It looks like they are going to try and go for this elimination here. Yuma becoming the target on that Matari. Very, very low in HP right now. Going to try and scale away, and it looks like he was able to avoid some of this damage. We are going to see the F getting popped up from one of these monks here, and SS1's Water going to get eliminated. TE's Youth picking up the Bloom here. It looks like Xiaonan still unable to pick up a Soul Bloom. Huge parry going to come through. Revenge not able to capitalize too much off of it. Overhold going to come through as well. Youth getting absolutely pieced up right now by Revenge. Good tap dodge, and the parry, the peel is going to come in from Xiaonan as Revenge going to come in with a 1-2-3, able to deal so much damage. Shuan now going to get eliminated, and TE coming out on top of that fight. Amazing peel from the rest of his team to be able to come through with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was about to say, Youth, you've got ult, bro. just ult, man. It was getting a bit close there,
bro. Come
buddy.
on.
A little close for comfort, bro. What is this? You go down, it's not looking good, but hey, they salvage it regardless. The Syra put up an excellent fight, making it very, very close. But they didn't need it. It's all planned, calculated, easy clap. No problem. But moving on, heading over to YZG. They're looking for these soul blooms right now. WBG seems to be their target. Leo turning this focus back around. TXJ preemptively popping that ultimate, armoring through that damage. Now throwing down these orbs, trying to keep his teammates alive. Year-Run also in that Syra ultimate, trying to make use of this beam, the microwave coming through, the CXZ getting knocked around. The Ferrier in that F2 tries to go to the sky, tries to use that silence. Still very low HP. YZGTXJ gets pulled out of that ultimate. A little bit of chip damage coming through. Jing now the focus of these players. CXZ gets locked up in that sand wisp. It's not going to be enough though to take him down just yet. Year-Run, 1 HP in a dream, does get eliminated. The cleanse comes through for TXJ, and there it is. It all just happens in an instant, in a blink of an eye. You blink and you miss it. They all go down, and YZG able to clutch up in those final seconds of that Yang depletion. 10 seconds later, and they were dead for good.
Yeah, they were really running that press extremely aggressively, and they were so close to being able to cleanse the depletion, but they were able to hold up for just long enough. It was a beautiful peel from the Syra of YZG to be able to come through and just make sure their teammates weren't going down. They all lose Soul Bloom's potential, and they do not come out victorious in that fight. And it looks like we're going to be seeing SS1 versus GG in the Realm of Yang, as well as Alliance versus SR on the other side of our Realm of Yang. This is our second Yang fight today, ladies and gentlemen, of game number 4. SS1 Water going to be taking to the skies here as he's waiting for the ultimate. Is going to drop down now, sends the ulti out. They're going to see him try and go and pick up that Syra from the enemy team. GG's 330 has to watch out, doesn't want to get grabbed here. They're playing behind the pillar extremely well. He's got to time these jumps perfectly to be able to see if he can grab anybody out. And it looks like his teammates getting absolutely decimated here. Juwon not able to hold up his end of the team, not able to make anything happen. It looks like Water as well is just absolutely whiffing on all of these grabs. Now forced to back off. We are seeing the Kylan dashes come into play here, but GG's CJS doing a really good job at blocking off most of their damage opportunities with those Furin blasts. They're going to see it happen again. Furin shove coming out, and CJS is going to get eliminated though. XS1 turning this fight around. Now 2v2 situation. It really is anyone's game. F ability going to come up for Shuan, able to save him a lot. GG's 330 with the F as well, or Zuan with the F as well to be able to, oh my goodness, 2v1 situation now. GG's LXM trying to get this elimination, gets the overhead slam onto Shuan. Zuan and Shuan very, very low in HP, and the jump LMB is going to come through and finish off the elimination. It really was anybody's game, and Juwon and Zuan able to come through and finish up that elimination for their team and win themselves the second Realm of Yang.
Indeed, Zuan and Zuan. It's like they're trying to be confusing at this point. Come on, guys.
Zuan, Zuan.
It's quite funny. It's also quite funny that it's Zuan and then water. It's just like, just the odd one out. Where's the Buon, bro? What you gotta be one of the group. You gotta be build that team synergy. You know, you gotta be a Uwan. You got a something Uwan just to be one of the boys. But no, maybe Wuan with a W.
Like you said, in trios, it's often two that are paired together, and then you add the third on top. So you know, it could be with the naming as well. You never know. True.
Goodness. I want to say with YZG, all three of them have 3-letter names. It's DXJ, CJS, and I forget the last one. It's
YZG, QGG.
QGG, that was it. QGG. That's a team in sync right there. But we're taking a look at this Realm of Yang fight between Alliance and SR. Rico eating a lot of damage from that Erudition. Revenge making very good use of this Soul Jade. We saw it in the previous fight after the previous Realm of Yang. Rico eating that Dragon Slayer, holding that Nunchucks horizontal, trying to deny the focus pressure, but not able to do so. Still getting taken down. The Scale Rush coming through. The Zai just getting clipped by that jump horizontal at the very end. The Erudition again coming through. You can't parry purple focus, buddy. He goes down. I have to say, Erudition for the longest time was the biggest meme of the Jade. It used to be what Sky Punch is now. It's just it was a joke. But the fact that they made it purple on 2 slams and you can turn it in mid animation is just insanely good. If you haven't tried it out, make sure you try it out in your next game, ladies and gentlemen, because it is very fun to use. But again, we've got a fight with SR and GG. GG on the front foot, I would say. But they have used all of their ultimates now and are looking to retreat to the safe zone, as if they continue to fight, it's going to build and build on that anti-healing debuff that the zone gives you, and it's not where you want to be.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that you want to hold on to, especially as the game progresses. The heals get weakened and the storm gets even more treacherous. These players are going to want to try and rotate back in. Sometimes we do see players forced into the zone, or players going into the zone of their own volition just to avoid taking a fight if they absolutely need to. So you're going to see now, though, GG and SR going at it. Absolute insanity here. Both of these teams on Yang depletion, so we're going to see them both giving it their all in this fight. It looks like SR Xiao gonna get caught up by the 1-2-3 combo of GG CJS's Fist Blades. We're gonna see now Junks, though, and Rico were able to eliminate the other players of GG, so this is a 2v1 situation now, and we're gonna see if he's gonna be able to make something happen. But the Syra ult is making this a little bit more difficult for him here, and he's got to get these focus attacks off, otherwise he's gonna be in a whole heap of trouble. Junks is gonna get hit out pretty quickly, but the uppercut gonna come through, and there we go. CJS is gonna get himself eliminated there, and Rico picking up the elimination. Xiao has gone down, so we are going to see him jumping back into this game in a second, maybe if they try and go for the buyback, but right now it's not looking too good for them as FPX has found Rico. Looks like they are going to try and see if they can come away with an elimination onto him in the zone. Coming into this fight now, we are seeing the F ability invested. They want to get out of this area, though, because they are losing a lot of HP. SR Rico going to try and go on the offensive now, coming around with the Erudition. And we are going to
see
buddy.
Now the bow
shot to finish it off. What a play.
Very nice indeed. He just thinks he's the modern day Robin Hood right now. Fu Yuan is just he's just cooking with the Syra. Hey, and perhaps that's why, he's got the aim, he's got the tracking, he doesn't skip those aim training days. That's why he's just the GOAT. But moving over to Plume Castle, we have Alliance, Wolves, and I believe one more team as well in the vicinity of 521 and and SS1 and YZG. We've got a lot of teams packed in to this Spirit Well area, and it's to be expected, considering that this Spirit Well is going to reward those who capture it with Draco Storm. We see the Zai F2 flying in there. Speaking of F2, ZK finding that silence but not able to follow up, immediately getting peeled off by Revenge with that Erudition. Yet again, the V3 having been popped, the stagger comes through, but it's not enough to secure them this positioning. Unfortunately, Alliance looks as though they're going to be able to consolidate and fully control this space, at least for the moment. 521 are very close by. Aibin chilling in the corner. Revenge not really all that interested. Aibin sending out that Tessa ultimate through the wall, but not able to find all that much. YZG getting into the mix, but immediately getting forced back out again, having all of their armor shredded down. As you can see, CXZ going down in the kill feed. That was not the plan. That was not how they wanted things to turn out, not at all the result that they were hoping for, and now they're going to be tasked with getting this resurrection, and they might indeed be able to do so, considering that all of these other players are focused on trying to secure this spirit well. I believe that was BBE or Wolves jumping in, trying to steal the armor from the body, and actually managed to do so. That's
honestly
insane.
The tactical revive was incredibly impressive, the way they used the Syra ult to push everybody else away. Pampy here gonna try and go for a huge stun. It looks like they're gonna be able to pick up Yuma, and
oh, whoa. What just happened?
what, did the ultimate get canceled?
Huh?
I am incredibly confused here.
Maybe he went out of range? That seems a bit odd. I'd be surprised if he went out of range. That's kind of crazy. But 5-1, that's pretty unlucky. Where did his health go? I think Pampy picked up the armor and it was empty and then just died. Because there's no way he got an entire purple armor shredded within a millisecond.
Yeah, it was an interesting play. It looks like we are going to see Fat Milk getting himself eliminated here as SS1. Continuing their onslaught, they've been really good at capturing these spirit wells in the late game. They've gotten a whole bunch of them as the games have progressed. They haven't been able to do too much with them, but they have been staying consistently at the top of the leaderboard. So let's see if they're able to get some eliminations off. And it looks like we do see the Kylan ultimate coming out for them, trying to get this elimination onto NY7. And it looks like they are going to be able to get this pick off with the last hit coming through with that purple fan from Zuon. Wild Wind Sprout. Golden Soul Jade can be doing a lot for them here. And it looks like they are going to see the other players of Alliance are waiting in the wings to try and revive their teammates if they can. But it looks a little bit too late to buy people back. I'm not sure if there's a soul altar in the zone anymore, as YZG, I believe they're down. Oh no, they still got 3 members left alive. SS1 very, very high up on the board right now, doing an incredible job with the amount of kills. Look at all of the gold soul jades they've got under their belt. I see alchemy on 2 of their players, level 0, and other jades I am trying to translate. It is a little bit difficult.
I think that's Phantom Step at the top.
Phantom Step
or water.
Yes, I believe it is Phantom Step. We got to get Severio in here to give us our good jade translation. The Jades used to say which weapon it would go for, so I was able to memorize all of the weapon characters. So I would be, oh, that's the gold Jade for the longsword. That has to be Phoenix Blast. But ever since they took that away from the UI, it has been over for me here. And look at that, SS1, just with all the gold Jades able to block this path for anyone trying to capture the Spirit Well.
This is going to be tough. Having Draco Storm already, they are going to be uncontestable, I believe. I don't think anybody can go down there and actually stand up to them. It's just not going to happen. Now, with 4 seconds left, the buff now expiring, they're going to be able to immediately pick up that next buff as soon as they choose to do so. Zwan ready to pop that ultimate and then immediately capture the Spirit Well. It's gonna get spicy very quickly. And speaking of spicy, this very small area at the edge of the zone is looking pretty packed to the brim with all of these players. TE, YZG, Wolves desperately trying to hold on to the inside of the house. Alliance on the staircase trying to hold on to that spot. Or are they behind? Actually, no, they're not on the staircase. They're in the room behind it, and they've managed to find themselves a pocket of safe zone in that room. They are going to have to rotate relatively soon, I believe, especially if they get spotted out by some cannon or whatever that hits them through the wall, making them immediately targetable. It's not what you want. You do not want to be stuck in that spot against something like Rupture Gale Flame Breath. That would not be ideal. But it doesn't look like too much is happening as of yet. But I would like to note that BBE is still alive and kicking. They're still going. They are still alive. I thought that they'd been knocked out, but I think it must have been 5-2-1 earlier. And they're not looking as though they're in a good spot, though.
Yeah, 5-2-1 had been eliminated, and it looks like BBE going to get chopped down pretty quickly here. Devon, very, very low in HP right now. Going to try and scale away. If the 1-2 could end it all, we are going to see the ultimate getting released for them as SS1 is going to get themselves that elimination. Juwon picking that up with the Kylan. ASC now down on the bottom side. Are going to become the target of SS1 for a second. I believe that's Alliance actually, and now FPX going to get hit as well. Juwon targeting anyone. He said this sword's for everybody and everybody. Nobody is safe from the Kylan ultimate here, as we are going to see the health go back up periodically. Wolf ZK going to get that last elimination onto BBE's Roy Hehe as SS1's Juwon doing a really good job of holding space here. He's popped his ult a second time, going to knock these players from FPX out into the zone. Found ASE waiting in the corner, and TE, they are going to get hit. Youth is going to go down to SS1 Zuon. Oh my goodness, what a Kylan dash! And we're going to see the Viper ultimate getting released as well from one of these players. Everyone sending their ults out now. QGG going to get eliminated by Alliance's Yuma. Every single monk in the lobby is getting hit. Oh my goodness, the Draco Storm procs are going crazy. SS1's Water Tree gonna get a double grab into the double slam. That's one elimination onto LJX for him, trying to get some more grabs as we go along. YZG becoming the target. Wolf ZK going to get himself grabbed. NiHQ gonna get grabbed as well. We're gonna see another double slam, double elimination for SS1's Water. What a play coming out for him. Miss gonna get grabbed. Another double slam, but it's not in time. Oh my goodness.
What is occurring here, Seb? Honestly, these monk grabs into the double slams have been magnificent to watch today. SS1 running the lobby right now, having secured both buffs from the previous two Spirit Wells. They just have full agency to run this endgame. One pulling the trigger on that ultimate yet again, looking to try and knock all of these players into that storm, picking up that Soul Bloom along the way. Revenge now the next target, the Syra. I don't believe he has ultimate. He is going to be going down very, very soon. There it is, Zwan picking up his 15th elimination, by the way. Zwan running it down with the golden longsword. Oh my goodness, no one can stand up to SS1 right now. Water grappling to the heavens, trying to pull these players down from the sky. He has ultimate ready to go. All he needs to do is make sure that they can secure this kill multiplier. TXJ goes down to miss, but it's already over. Ladies and gentlemen, SS1, the look on their faces says it all. They absolutely cooked this game. Game number 4, MVP, SS1. What a bang.
That was the craziest end circle I had seen in a minute. They've been getting both buffs.
Coast going for those Fireflies. We're going to have a lot of 3v3s, a couple 3v3v3s. We've got Wolves and FPX on these Fireflies. Oh my goodness, and ZK's almost dead already, but don't worry, LJX is coming in to save the day. Oh my gosh, a pixel of HP. That's actually insane. It looked as though his health bar was completely depleted, but no, he does survive with that pixel of health. They're now moving over to Alliance and SS1. Water. What is it about? I don't know. Everyone seems to find great swords at the very beginning of the game. It's kind of insane to me. I never find them. Or I mean, I find them, but sometimes you just don't. I always find pole swords. But these guys, they're finding all the great swords. I'm jealous. Alliance is going to be able to pick up these 3 eliminations off the rip, going up to 3. TE on 2, Alliance on 3, as I'm repeating myself for the 3rd time. 5-1 on 3, FPX and BBE on 1, and ASE also on 1. And it looks as though this fight took a little bit of back and forth. We did get 1 elimination, but no full team wipe just yet for BBE.
And BBE being able to hold their own, picking up 1 kill. Very nice to see that they're starting the game off right, getting themselves an elimination under their belt. They've already got that 1 point secured, so they're doing better than last game, which is all we can ask is you improve. And that's what this is all about, improving your skill. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. As we're going to be seeing, they are maybe spotting out GG here, as it looks like they are going to find CJS. And this could be another secured elimination for them. what a play. Nice F3 to finish that off there. Being able to come in and secure the elimination onto GG's CJS. As SS1 as well, fully eliminated right now, going to be taking their lives to the Soul Altar to bring themselves back into this game, trying to rescale their loot for that first Realm of Yang. As it looks like Wolves as well on the outside. No eliminations on the board for Wolves so far. And it seems to be a little bit of a calmer game, as usually we've been seeing fights going on consistently from right now into the next little bit of the game. But right now it looks like a lot of teams have already been wiped out, lost their lives, and now they're taking a little bit of a breath to reset here. So we're going to be taking a look at our kill leaders. I believe this is for how many kills they've received in one game. NiHQ with 19 is in first place. Baby U and TXJ tied for 18, and then Shuan and Tutik from JDG tied for 16 eliminations in a singular game. I didn't know that somebody had more. I was going
to say, how do you know this? And then I realized you speak Chinese, huh? You speak some Chinese. So I was just like, wait.
I made an educated guess.
At first, I thought it was just... I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can speak a little bit of Chinese. So
yeah, based on the minimal amount of Chinese that I know, I can make an educated guess based on the statistics put in front of me, the 2 or 3 Chinese characters I can read, and we come to a census. And sorry if the information does turn out to be wrong, but
no, I think you're absolutely right.
I think I was correct.
Yeah, you were. But hey, we're moving on to a fight coming out between Alliance and 521. It's looking pretty scrappy in the corner of this building. Oh my goodness, the scale rush. The slice through Pampy. Now in that Justina ultimate, trying to salvage the situation. The tap dodge is not going to save him, unfortunately. Just tap dodging at the end of it, there's just not that many frames. You're very punishable at the end of a tap dodge, and unfortunately he's not able to get that parry off and save himself. Going over to ASE and BBE, Royhe getting parried and just sliced up by ASE, and the good start that BBE had managed to secure themselves is now going down the drain, unfortunately, running into ASE, a team that has just been on an absolute tear today. It's just that's rough to see, unfortunate for them. However, they do still have 2 kills. They're not down. They're not dead just yet. They're not back in the lobby. They have another shot in this lobby, and I'm looking forward to see if they can manage to salvage it. TXJ now getting minced by Wolves, by LJX, aka the King, or formerly known as the King, YZG. Oh my goodness! The pole sword Stoneform release doing a lot of damage, but it's just not enough to save him and to equalize the playing field there, unfortunately. Wolves picking up 3 eliminations relatively early on in this game.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Wolves has seemed pretty consistent early game. It seems they start to falter when it comes closer to those end game scenarios. And they've been able to put up a decent amount of points early game almost every single game so far today. So they've been playing pretty consistently. They just got to work on their execution in the end game, and they will be doing a lot of great things if they can keep that up. 6 kills for Alliance, 3 for Wolves and TE, 4 for ASE, 4 for 521, 2 for FPX, 2 for BBE, and the rest have got donuts so far. SS1 did get sent back to the Soul Altar pretty early in this game, so it is going to be difficult for them to try and scale up in this early game, but they do have the opportunity to take a Realm of Yang or go for a Spirit Well, as SS1 does. They are the Spirit Well team, if you will. And it looks like they're going to be taking over Sunwing, trying to see if they can get a bit of extra loot before they re-enter into a fight. They've only got blue armor, blue weapons for most of their team, so this is going to be very detrimental to them if they cannot find anything. They could be put at a huge disadvantage.
Absolutely. Alliance looking very solid right now. Currently the kill leaders of the lobby. 4-2-0, giving them 6 total eliminations. It's looking pretty good for them, and they are on that Viper team composition, this attack on Titan comp. And if the safe zone ends up moving over to that northwest side of the map, they could be able to snowball this even further, as with the northwest of the map on Morris Isle, we have all of those extremely tall trees, which facilitate those Viper drop downs very, very well, allowing for these Viper compositions to just take full advantage and have just the general advantage over all of these other teams, lying in wait, waiting for their opportunity to strike and just fully assassinate certain teams. But it looks like we're getting ready for the Realm of Yang yet again, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, Wolves. Looks as though they're doing a little bit of shopping before heading over to that portal. 5-1 in the southwest of the map. YZG looks as though they're going to be heading on over to join them and go into that Yang portal. GG in the southeast side as well. ASE, WBG, all a bit more central. TE as well, close by. SS1. All getting ready to jump into this Yang, but only a few can enter. Only 6 teams in total can make it in. Are they going to be able to get in? ASE do. They are going up against GG as well, but ASE have a pretty decent advantage in terms of loot, considering that not only do they have better armor, but it looks as though they have slightly better weaponry.
And the Takeda on Team GG only on that gray ultimate, only getting 3 charges of his ult could be very, very important to watch. Only having the gray variation of the ult is going to be very difficult for them to be able to come away with anything. ASE's Han going to get a huge grab. Repeating crossbow going to deal a lot of damage. Syra doing a really good job at healing, but the regrab going to come through, and Mist just putting in work on that Kylan, able to get some crazy damage coming through. Mist can be able to come through as well with the damage on to the punch. The Furin Shove is going to prevent the rejuggle, but he gets the regrab anyways, and now ultimate down. It's a 3v2 situation. They're going to try and fight this out, but it's looking pretty bleak for them. Syra has been also dropped out of ultimate. We are going to see QGG and YZG going down in the kill feed. Oh my goodness, almost gets the swap into the parry.
Oh my
and there we go,
goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be very difficult. Oh my goodness, again. And they're just holding it. Mist going to go for the uppercut combo, trying to leave him alive as long as possible for the, oh my goodness. They're going to leave him as long as possible to try and min-max this to their fullest potential. As you're going to see, the fight is still going on. And there we go, 330 eliminated. ASE winning that Realm of Yang.
Indeed they do. It's exactly as you said. It's not BM, guys. They're not being toxic. They're just keeping them alive a little bit longer so they can have a longer effective duration of that buff, as you said so rightly. But now we're going into that Yang depletion situation. 5-1 up against, I believe that's YZG. QGG is already down. Absolutely blitzed. YZG is falling apart. TXJ and CXZ, they are in ultimate, but they don't have very much to work with. A Yin peppering this monk, the freeze as well. Look how horrible this is to play against this composition, Sam. This is exactly what I was talking about. How do you live as monk here? It's just not feasible. You just die, unfortunately, no matter what. But look at this, Seb. BBE popping off, coming in at the opportune moment. Hello, brothers from SEA. I'm sorry, but you're going down. We need the points right now, boys. Going up to 5 eliminations. Very nice to see. Heading over to just north of Wreckage. I always get the Shipwreck Expanse or Wreckage Plains. There's 2 names in my mind. Wolves and SS1 going head to head. WBG also in the mix. Xing going down, I believe, in the distance. Oh no, not yet, not just yet. Being chased down by NHQ, but soon to be eliminated by Oh, no, it wasn't SS1. It was NHQ. He does take him down, but Wolves have been not been able to survive, unfortunately. It's not looking too good for them. They do have that buff, so they're not down for the count just yet. They are going to be able to come back, but it's not ideal for them. They're not going to be able to get that much value out of this Vermilion Birthmight. SS1, on the other hand, are doing reasonably well, but the third party, again, is going to be coming in from ASE, and ASE are taking full advantage of the situation.
ASE coming through third partying and completely knocking SS1 off of their game, taking out one of their members, forcing them to back off. It looks like ASE could be trying to go for another third party, bringing it back around. They see GG waiting in the wings. Han in a bit of trouble here, needs to get out of this situation. This could be terrible for him. Might be forced to hit that ultimate as the rest of the ASE team has shown up to assist, but they are getting extremely low. Mist going down, Han going down, Xiao Wen going down, and GG with a textbook cleanup. They're able to cure their Yang depletion so quickly there. What a phenomenal play from them to be able to finish that off. GG doing a really good job catching out the Monk and then baiting the rest of the team to come in to the Temi ultimate. It was just a phenomenal play all around.
It really was. That was beautifully done by GG. And they are one of those big names. They are not to be trifled with. Even in a weakened state, they come in and perfectly execute this third party. Now, GG and FPX being engaged on a beautiful parry coming out. CJS has popped that ultimate, is going to be able to use that Fury Blast when he gets staggered. It's not over just yet. He's still kicking. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Kiki getting juggled by those dual halberds. Is going to be forced to use that ultimate to disengage, but now SR coming into the mix. Junks in that Kylan ultimate is going to be a menace, and the CJS does eventually go down, now followed quickly by LXM and GG. Even though they salvaged their game so beautifully, they are going to go down nonetheless with only one member left alive, who's going to be tasked with salvaging this one. I doubt he's going to be able to get those reses, but he might be able to get the rebirth charm later on. We'll have to see. Wolves and YZG in this realm of Yang. This is the beginning of the demise of YZG in this lobby, I believe, as we saw that they'd had Yang depletion. So let's see how it plays out, Seb. TXJ is not looking like he's having much fun.
Yeah, TXJ gonna get eliminated in Monk form, and the fact that they still have Syra ult available after they take the Monk ult away, and look at this dashing Matari doing a beautiful job of preventing any damage CXC could possibly send out. This Syra just laser beam from the sky, takes out CXZ, takes out QGG, and just a phenomenal play by them. So you're going to see them enter the realm of Yang. Again, we see one Yang fight on the replay. We see the second one back to back, and it looks like GG facing off against Wolf this time, and ASE facing off against WBG. WBG winning their first round of Yang, having a little bit of a better start to the day than they do last time. Slap coming out from GG's 330 right off the rip here. Interesting play. We're going to see the Temi ultimate invested incredibly fast from WBG's Leo, as we're going to see flipping over. Oh, this is a different fight. Oh my goodness, I just realized. Now we're going to see the grabs coming through. Jing going to get himself grabbed, trying to see if we can get the grab onto Leo. It looks like they aren't going to be able to pick that up, so Han just going to send out the slam on to Xing. Xing gonna get himself grabbed up now. And this is the interesting part. Mist trying to see if he can make something happen. Xiaowen has already been eliminated. This is a difficult situation for them to be in. It looks like Wolves did beat out GG in their realm of Yang, as Han now in the 1v3 situation. It's not looking too good for him. Going to pop the bell, trying to see if he can get away from these three players. And it looks pretty difficult for him here. They're going to start running away, trying to... Oh, no, the slaps. Oh, my goodness. Slap kill in the realm of Yang. We could see it. They're going to pan away, but we could see the slap coming out.
Don't look.
Don't look at the slap.
Don't look at this. Well, you know, the reason why GG opened up with a slap there is because he was the only one in there. His teammates were dead, and he was 1v3. I think he'd been forced to go into the realm of Yang so that he could survive being chased down or something or other. I'm not too sure. But he was alone in the 1 versus 3. There's just a bit of a meme, a little bit of memeing, just walking up and slapping as there was just no chance he was winning that regardless, and fully accepted it. But look at this, we've got BBE on a roll with 7 eliminations, looking pretty solid. Is this the BBE comeback story, Seb? Are they going to come back off this game, building that confidence?
I mean, I love to see the energy coming from BBE in game number 5. I think it might be a little too late, but they definitely have a chance to put some numbers on the board and get themselves climbing for their games in future days. Because they have so much potential on that team. And they just haven't been able to execute on the big stage quite just yet. But they do have all season to make that up. It looks like ASE in the zone right now. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with them. Could be just taking their lives. They're trying to run in back out of the zone, but it's a little bit confusing to me here. Is Mist all the way in the zone, going to get himself a bit of the heal. As it looks like they're taking the Soul Altar in the zone to avoid any sort of fight with anybody else. As could be the play here. As Han going to be able to get himself back into the zone as well. As these players now have 4 minutes left to cure that Yang depletion. As WBG and Wolves, oh my goodness,
God.
They see him. They see FPX with blue armor. This is going to be a fight that they're going to want to take here. The Draco Storm proc came through at the perfect time. The silence is going to come out though. Jing going to be taking a lot of damage here, forced to hit his ultimate as fast as possible. We're going to see a parry coming out, but FPX turning this fight around, and they could actually lose this here. WBG able to do a little bit to peel, and they are going to be able to just take that Wu Chen port to get out of there as fast as possible. And wow, what a play from FPX to be able to defend against the forces of WBG and Draco Storm, just coming through, absolutely annihilating them almost. And now they're able to escape with almost their entire lives.
I don't know. This is going to be tough regardless. WBG, the question is, are they willing to actually to fully commit to this chase down and waste more time on their Draco Storm? You'd much rather just be out there fighting people who aren't running away from you with Draco Storm. But I would like to point out that even though they don't have, it doesn't have the same effect as Mystic Might, it still spots you out or in the bushes when you're stealth. That Thunder Strike is still going to hit you, which is just crazy. They're fully stealthed in the bush, they grapple past them, and then the Lightning Strike comes down anyway. Insane. Another reason why Draco Storm is just that good. But here we are taking a look at ASE and TE. ASE doing a pretty good job here. Unfortunately, Han getting a little bit greedy for the grabs, not going to get the slam, and losing a chunk of that HP as a result of this. Han now forced to use that D-transform. He's going to try and kite away from the clear aggression that's about to ensue from TE. Peak coming in with those hold checks, those RMB holds. Han repeatedly parrying, trying to catch him slipping, and Peak, he does indeed slip. The blunder coming out from TE. That was a pretty winnable situation, but no, ASE are going to hold on and keep it going, and now Youth is the next on the chopping block, and ASE are going to be making short work of him and fully cleansing their Yang depletion, keeping themselves in the game, and going up to, I believe, 12 eliminations there. 12. ASE are absolutely cooking today, Seb. And it looks as though we found out whether or not FBX is going to survive, and it doesn't look as though they're in a good state right now.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like they got the outcome that they wanted from running away there. Is BBE actually able to pick up an elimination? They're on 10 kills! Ladies and gentlemen, Bamboo Esports are gaming right now. We're going to be taking a look at some of the soldiers. We see Starfall on WBG's Leo. I'd love to see a little Starfall hit coming up. But we're going to see this Bane coming through. It looks like it is covering a lot, the entire Spirit Well. So this could be an interesting one. Let's see how greedy these players really are when it comes to the Spirit Well and the Bane Breath, as it's blasting very, very close by. All of these players going to get hit by here. SR Zhao going to get hit in the ultimate. and Yiran doing a really good job of avoiding, and I spoke too soon. He does get hit with the grab, knocked out of ultimate as well, as we're going to see another Bane hit coming down, not connecting onto anyone, but Zuan picking up a kill onto 521's Yin out of nowhere. SR is going to jump into the mix. WBG fully invested into this fight. Temi ultimate everywhere. Bane knocking everybody to Kingdom Come, and oh my goodness, Junk's going to get hit out here, not able to get that last Kylan slash he was trying to connect with, as the Bane is still taking over half of this fight. It looks like Zhao did get hit by the Bane. They're forced to back off here and almost gets hit by another one. Ultimate is going to go down. Oh my goodness, I thought he got hit there. We are going to see Wolves claiming this Spirit Well for themselves. And like we said, they needed to make a change, and now WBG Xing going to get eliminated by Bamboo Esports. Oh my goodness, 11 eliminations for BBE. WBG's Leo going to get a nice little parry here, being able to block some of the damage, but the Mentari F2 going to be too powerful, and Leo going to go down to water here as SS1 able to pick up a nice little elimination. And now Wolves and IHQ on the Mentari trying to make something happen. We're going to see the Mentari ultimate come out for that team. We do see they have the Mystic Might buff, so they're using those ultimates, trying to burn them and get as much value as possible as they're chasing water down. The Matari ultimate has been invested by SS1 to create peel. We see the Ballista up. Ballista in this late of the game is a very interesting play to see here, and SS1 is going to go down. I believe that was Assassin's Lunge on Nai HQ that completes that elimination, and now Zuan, 2 members remaining of SS1, and Wolves just hot on their trail, ready to engage.
They certainly are, and oh my god, I said it earlier. Are BBE going to be able to come back and get that game that's just going to build their confidence and just like skyrocket them up the leaderboard, because they do have it in them. They're like good players. You have to be here. You have to be pretty damn good. And there it is. They finally get their footing. They find the footing. They find the ball that they need to get rolling, and now they're in it. They're 11 kills up. They're not the kill leaders of the lobby, but it's still a very nice contrast to see from their previous performances. And now SS1 Juan, unfortunately, the last remaining member of the team, does finally get spotted out, chased down, and put down by SR, who are, they haven't had the best day so far. It's definitely not comparable to their previous performance in the group stage of last bi-weekly, but still not too bad. They've still got time. There's still plenty of time. Now we're going to fight between Wolves, BBE, and the last remaining members of WBG, who also are now fully eliminated. Devon picking up that kill. BBE going up to 13. They're the kill leaders, Seb. They're at the top right now. Let's go, BBE. It's always good to see. They're still sitting in 12th place, but that could change off the back of this game and in game at number 6. So we'll see how this end game plays out. At the moment, SR, ASE are all positioning on this Spirit Well, along with Wolves who are close by. We're going to try and contest this. We do see that it is Draco Storm as a reward for this Spirit Well claim, but are SR going to be able to hold on to this? Wolves don't seem too interested in contesting at the moment, and there it is. They're just being gifted this Spirit Well. I mean, it's definitely a hard thing to contest, but nobody looked to stop them.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but what happened there, but looks like BBE now going to be the targets of this onslaught, and no, Roy he forced to use that Viper ultimate to try and make something happen, and it looks like they're going to be able to get a decent amount of a stun off, but it looks like NNE going to get himself eliminated here. Roy he just trying to create some space, using that F3 to be able to put more space into the focus slide, but getting attacked from every single angle, and it looks like ASE's missed, going to pick up that elimination. Still got to work on the end game. They came up strong in the middle and early game. They've got 1 player remaining, so they still have a chance for some really good placement points. SR only on 3 eliminations. The rest of these teams very close together. BBE with 13, ASE with 13, and 12 for Wolves. Wolves ZK now found Devon, and it looks like Devon is going to get himself eliminated pretty quickly here, as SR has also seen him. They know he's the solo in the lobby. There's only 10 players left. They know there's 1 solo and 3 trios. Devon going to be getting caught out pretty quickly here, trying to run away, but Rico hot in pursuit. This is going to be a little bit too difficult for Devon here, as all of these players jumping into the mix, but Matari is the hero to do it. Looks like it is going to be not enough, though, as these players aggressively giving chase. Armor swap. Oh my goodness. Devon gonna go down. LJX making something happen, as ASE's Han was able to go for a huge grab. Oh my goodness, he gets ZK. Trying to see if he can get another grab. Isn't going to be able to connect on the second grab. Han now in a bit of a bad situation. No health available, no armor. Han could go down here. This is getting tricky. Junk's going to steal the elimination with the cannon shot from downtown. We're seeing Xiao now on the Monk. Going to pop that out, trying to get ZK. He does get the grab. Everyone sending their shots in. The regrab going to come through with a huge follow-up. Xiao going to pick up the kill. And now we've got ASE up on top. 2 players from ASE and 2 players from Wolves holding the top of these trees. SR down at the bottom. Is it a 3 players from SR, 2 players from both of the kill leading teams? As we're jumping into the last 2 minutes of the game, it's going to be interesting, because if SR picks up all of these eliminations, I think they do have a shot at making MVP.
Yeah, I would say so. If they pick up all the eliminations and come first, then they certainly do, considering that the 4 placement points and the kill multiplier would likely be enough to put them over the top. And it's already started. Wolves, LJX goes down, not having that ultimate available, not able to save himself. Now NHQ might be next on the list. He's immediately getting focused down. The Matari ult comes out, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. And there it is. Mist is going to eliminate him, but it's going to ASE. It's not going to SR. SR need to claim more of these eliminations if they want to get that MVP, if they want to get the maximum points that they can, so that they can salvage their series so far today. Rico now healing up. Zhao finding a grab onto Zhao Wen. The slam's going to come through into the zone you go, and the quick lunge from the staff is going to finish him off, and now it's just a formality. ASE Mist is going to get grabbed, is going to get slammed. No ult, no nothing. He goes down, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that SR is going to be coming away with the MVP for game number 5. And if it's not, then it's extremely close. Is it not?
Yeah, I think it's got to be ASE.
Give me the pop-up.
It's got to be ASE, right? Because they had 14 eliminations.
Is it?
Well,
is it ASE?
7?
It is. Wait, SR didn't manage it. Damn. It must be absurdly close. It must be very, very close. Obviously, is it going to be enough to compare to something like Tessa? Because Tessa is sort of somewhat invaluable in a lot of scenarios because of her reduced ult cost.
Yeah, Tessa definitely a very valuable hero, like you were saying. But I'm still just like, how are BBE going to make this comp work? Oh my goodness, ASE getting sharked down by SR. YZG trying to coming in on the third party. The pull sword follow up from Rico right now, just absolutely insane. Xiao is going to go down though, as Rico getting eliminated as well. ZGE going to get a huge parry off as Fun Plus Phoenix coming in on the third party here. The 1-2 coming over, trying to go for the overhold, and QGG going to pick up the elimination onto the members of FPX. Now Kiki, 1 HP and a dream here. Tessa Charm going to come out for the savior. QGG could go down at any instant here. We are going to see Kiki getting himself eliminated, and now it's a 1v1 TXJ versus Fuyuan, and there we go. We're gonna see a third party coming in from Pampy, now forcing both of these players to exit this area. And it looks like Fuyuan is gonna get caught out, and now Wolves jumping into the mix. They missed the charm. I believe I've been the only one to get caught. FPX is gonna finally escape. Oh my goodness, they let FPX go. The parries are crazy. All the weapons on the floor. Viper stun coming out to play as well. We are going to see Pampy trying to make the play. It looks like he is going to get caught by the scale rush, and Wolves going to clean up that elimination. Batmilk now trying to come for the peel. came a little too late, and Wolves picking up a whole bunch of eliminations.
Definitely. It felt like just sort of a pit stop, like a drive-by, fast food place. Just come get your eliminations here, ladies and gentlemen. Just everyone driving through and finding elims. The third, the fifth, the fourth, the sixth, seventh party, just insanity. It's very hard to survive this, no matter what. And it's the timing attacks. It's exactly what happens when you have 5 on the map. It gets very oogly off the start, and then it slows down a little bit into the lead up for the mid game. And now it's already started to slow down a little bit. And look at this, WBG has managed to get their hands on Vulpine Essence. If you don't know what this is, ladies and gentlemen, you need to play some more Perdoria map and go and land in Arcadia, as Arcadia has this sort of the enshrined rock underneath the main platform in the middle, that if you collect 7 of these special coins from around Arcadia, and then you place them next to this enshrined rock, it will unlock, it will break, and it will give you this Vulpine Essence Soul Jade that essentially is Mortal Defiance that's just juiced up to the max. Instead of only healing you about 200, 300 HP, it's going to heal you 1,000 health on pop, and it's going to give you a little bit of damage reduction for a couple seconds, and knock back enemy players in the vicinity. So an extremely useful Soul Jade, a very, very useful for your priority team member. If you need someone not to die, that's the thing, you need to get them. But, speaking of dying, it looks as though even with the Moonbane, TE are going to be going down to GG. And they're absolutely cooking. 3-3-0 with the grabs, looking to find Xiaonan, who's dropped down below this cliff. Now coming back on up to see if he can salvage the situation. But no, it's not looking good for them, Sam.
No, it is not. GG able to clean up a couple of eliminations. I believe Xiaonan was able to get away. It looks like all of TE has been revived. They took their lives into the Bane. As Wolves coming in on the third party here, ultimates at the ready. This could be dangerous for GG if they're not prepared, and that's why they are going to be taking the choice to run away here. Looks like Wolves have spotted CJS out. This could be bad for them. The silence, the Tessa charm, and this is not looking good, as we're going to see him get charmed out and eliminated very quickly off the rip. We're seeing bow shots come in, though. TE back in the mix of this game now. Going to try and see if they can get some eliminations off. ZK still has that ultimate available. They still have the Tessa ult online as well. They could fight this, but it looks like they are just going to take and go for a little bit of a retreat here. Interesting play. I'd expect them to go for a full attack, and it looks like they are going to try and lure them into some sort of attack here, and they're bringing it back around. They have the Tessa charms available if they need. Youth going to get that F2 off into ZK. ZK taking a lot of damage right now. We're going to see the Tessa charm coming out. All of them missing it. Viper ultimate is going to be released, but the Matari ultimate to counter. TE just on top of this. They are going to drop the Bane down though now. A TE forced to retreat. The bow shot's going to come out. Youth taking a lot of damage. The Syra going to peel and heal for them. Didn't even need to burn the Wu Chan ultimate. I believe they still have the teleport online if they need to. Beautiful use of the Bane's Breath to be able to counter that play, and they almost had those eliminations. TE was so close to finishing off those kills.
They were
jumping.
They
jumping
were
over.
XD.
FPX now on to WBG's Yiran. 1 HP in a dream right now, trying to get out of this situation. Fuyan trying to go for the solos combo with the longsword here. Oh my goodness, the bow shot from down. Ladies and gentlemen, the sniper came to play.
What a shot. And looks as though WBG are not out of the woods just yet. The teleport does take them to safety for the moment, but Yiran did almost go down. He does find that heal. They are able to fend off this pressure from FPX, but oh my goodness, a huge parry alongside the Tessa ultimate. And I think this is going to spell their demise. WBG Oh, and he's got the Vulpine as well. Oh no, this is not what you want. Vulpine just completely going to waste. Not able to actually get very much value out of this one as they're gonna be going down. And there it is, FPX getting their 7th elimination of the game, stepping it up. And hey, this is good to see. FPX, been a bit quiet today, but no longer. Oh my goodness. Fuyan. 3 elims. I don't know what's going on with FPX right now. They're a pretty solid, consistent team, but today they're just not had much success, unfortunately. It is what it is. But speaking of not much success, YZG haven't had the best time either, but game number 6, it looks as though they're doing all right for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, FPX has always been a team that's been decently consistent, mid-high scoring levels, and you know, it just seems like this season they haven't really been able to put the same numbers up on the board as they have in those previous seasons. So, you know, it could just be a shift in the team energy. Something has gone wrong where they've sort of plateaued a little bit while these other teams are starting to surpass them in synergy level or skill, depending on what it is. They are able to pull it back, though. As you see, they are picking up a decent amount of eliminations in this game here. So, you know, hopefully they'll be able to make a little bit more of whatever they've got going on this game into their next couple of games. We've seen them losing a lot of Realm of Yangs today. I think that's been the issue, is they get on Yang depletion and they get eliminated pretty fast. And that's one of the main reasons why they haven't been seen a lot of these end circles. We haven't seen them at post-second Yang. They're not contesting the Spirit Wells. They're not getting what they need to succeed. And so it's been a little bit more difficult for them, as we are going to see GG's 330 getting a huge grab on SR's Junks and be able to get the follow-up into the re-grab here, trying to go for the double onto Rico, but it looks like they're going to be unable to make that happen. They get Junks a 3rd time, though. You get grabbed once by 330, and it's over for you with the Kylan follow-ups. Junks is going to end up being able to escape the situation, but 330 definitely happy with that. Junk's already back to full HP, though. No ultimate available, and that is the big difference maker in this fight. No ultimates on the board for anybody right now, and it's all going to come down to weapon play. As Shao CJS going to get a huge parry. Junk's now going to roll over using that F1 ability to gain a little bit of HP back, stealing a weapon away from one of the GG members. I believe it is a 3v2 situation. CJS and LXM trying to make this work, but it's not going too well for them, as you know, they could come back into this 3v2 situation, but it looks like LXM going to get followed up on now, taking a lot of damage. Junk's just doing a beautiful job at holding here. CJS goes down, and LXM in the 3v1 situation with 40 seconds left could try and kite this out, but it's very difficult. And there we go, SR winning the Realm of Yang and going on picking up that Vermilion's Bird My Buff. They're going to get themselves some gold nunchucks, purple pistol, some purple armor, a nice little buff, and I believe that that's a Spear Jade, so I think that could be Spear Storm.
The Spear Storm, the Erudition, or the Hexa Harmony Spear Jade. I think
it's going to be Hexa Harmony. I think it's got to be Hexa Harmony.
If it was an attack Jade, then it was the Hexa Harmony. The Erudition is a health Jade. The Hexa Harmony definitely does a lot of damage. It's after it got buffed, it immediately became so much better. You hold the person you're hitting with it in place for a significant amount of time as well. Very good trios Jade, so that your teammates can come in and follow up onto the CC. But outside of the Realm of Yang, we're taking a look here at SS1, who are in a bit of a dire position. They don't have their ultimates available, each of them with about 50%. And WBG are circling. They're finding their target. They do find the silence. Juan now immediately getting combo juggled by the staff. Juan now trying his best to get up and move around, but it's not to be. What on earth is he supposed to do? WBG cooking him very, very quickly. A little bit of fast food right now. Jing sending out these fan R&Bs like hotcakes. He's chasing up the rest of these players down, but SS1 is looking pretty bad for them. Juan now caught on the retreat by this fan into the follow-up. The Wu channel is going to come through just to take them out of that Tumult ultimate. Are they going to be able to res this player in time? And is he actually going to survive? It looks as though it took him a second to realize that he'd in fact been resed. Zwan and Juan are now in a very bad spot. They are going to be able to heal up just a little bit, but are they actually going to be able to salvage this whole situation, Seb? Because I don't know, it's not looking too good for them. Yeran does have that Tessa ultimate coming online. Jing is at about 65% of their ultimate too. And I don't know if they want to be playing out this fight and then letting it go the distance, allowing these players to get their ultimates back online.
Yeah, with that ultimate coming out now with the Takeda and the Tessa stun only going onto the Takeda, it seems like WBG is now in a tough spot. We're going to see the Swift Cut coming through from Water, bringing back around the follow-up after the focus LMB. We're going to see the stun come out from the silence, but Jing trying to get away. Ultimate now has been popped, and this could be terrible. WBG could bring this back around. It looks like Zhuan is going to go down. Now it's a 3v2 situation, but all the members of WBG are incredibly low in health. If Zhuan's able to get this kill onto Jing, it could mean the end of WBG. They are going to be able to get out of there pretty fast, though, as they're going to see the revive come through. Jing able to get a heal pot off. This is unfortunate for them. Water now, they had this fight in the bag, and now Water just going to get himself eliminated here, and SS1 completely eliminated. I thought they had that. WBG with very little HP were able to stay persistent and come through with a nice win. Wow.
They were indeed, but let's move on over to this fight in Imperium. BBE, unfortunately, did go into the realm of Yang and lost, and 2 of the 3 members still have Yang depletion. And now look at this. I believe that was a Draco Storm in play, but it's just expired. Roy making it up to the top of this building, the ruins of this building, and just barely escaping. 9 making it around the corner. QGG trying to catch him with this ultimate, not able to do so. The Tumult Wisp out of nowhere! YZG QGG getting absolutely lit up, and he goes down. The Sand Wisp is strong. Sand in your eyes, buddy. He doesn't know what hit him. Alliance out of nowhere with minimal effort able to eliminate YZG's Viper, now leaving a lonely Matari and Wuchen to fend for themselves. Is not looking good for them, Seb. Not at all.
It is definitely not, and more players of BBE have been eliminated. It is not looking good for them either. This is going to be a very difficult situation that has been put for them, and trying to gain back this is going to be something that is very, very tough. Matari going to try and scale out of here, but Alliance ready and waiting for them to try and make something happen. It's just so difficult for them to get any sort of momentum now that they've lost that player, and now CXZ going to get eliminated. As we go to the second realm of Yang, we're going to be seeing GG versus TE. TE's had a very good game, or a very good couple of days so far, and GG pretty inconsistent. They've had some really good games today. They've had some pretty low scoring games. So we're going to see how this fight's going to pan out. The Syra going to be coming through as we see YZG's last member getting eliminated. That is their 6th and final game completed for them. GG's 330 trying to get these grabs off, but CJS getting dangerously low here. We're going to see that ultimate come out though. Now this could save their health just a little bit. 330 not able to find any value off of the grabs. We still see the Zai ult available for them, so this could be really dangerous. TE's going to pop that Zai ultimate, has that F available if needed. We're going to see the Kylan coming in, trying to peel against that Zai. That is the job of CJS right now. Make sure the Zai doesn't deal any damage. He's doing a really good job of that right now, knocking these players up into the air, but it looks like these members of GG are getting slowly minced down, as TE just playing a phenomenal game right now. And GG losing 2 members. Now it's a 1-8 player left. Oh, no, it's still 2 players for them. Engraving going to come out. 1 player left. Jump LMB into another hit. What a beautiful play from TE.
Yep, very nice indeed. Using those pillars very well, denying that line of sight while still being very impactful. They just couldn't stand up to it. TE, beautifully done. The Matari Syra composition is still very, very strong. We can see it right there. It's I don't know. I remember when this comp initially came through, we saw it with the zipping and the Karumi before. It was the budget comp. We thought, is this actually going to be good? And then it ended up being a huge staple composition. And now with the addition of Syra instead of zipping and Karumi, it's even more oppressive. But if Syra gets nerfed, I wonder, will this composition just go back to zipping Matari or zipping Karumi Zai, or will it end up continuing Syra, or will the comp just completely fade out with potentially the addition of a new character, I wonder, or the changes made? Perhaps we'll see some, I don't know, who knows? I mean, Taka rework's coming soon, so who knows? Taka rework coming up. Not okay. So I did actually get asked. I've been asked this question an abundant amount of times. Unfortunately, the Taka rework did not come up with the beginning of this new season. It's going to be coming alongside the new chest. So at the beginning of every season, the new loot box for said season isn't available at the beginning. You're able to open them, and they're available mid-season, so about a month in. So we've got about 25 days or so until the Taka rework, along with the opening of the Ignis treasure, which we're all, well, I'm very excited for. But enough of that. That's still in the future. For now, we've got this final game of the day to play out, and it looks as though GG and SR might be scrapping it out here, as both of these teams have Yang depletion, and they need to find those soul blooms sooner rather than later, or they're gonna be going out and going back to the lobby. Rico dropping down from the skies, finding that quick RMB focus on to 330. He immediately popping that Monk ultimate, finding the grab as well. Junks getting caught up. The range shots coming through, the Tumulk ultimate to answer to stop those range shots from continuing to pepper him down. GG LXM just gets exploded as well, so what on earth? The grab comes through, Junks, but is it too little too late? I feel like it might be. I don't think they're going to be able to salvage this one. Going up into the sky, 330's having a lot of trouble grabbing them out of it, and it's not looking good for them right now, as the Monk ultimate does expire. Not very much health to work with. He does find that soul bloom though. Wait a minute. They do find elimination. Is there a third party? There is indeed. Alliance coming in at the opportune moment and to devastate this team's chances of staying alive.
Yeah, Alliance and FPX coming in on the third party. GG eliminated. SR losing a member in that fight. I believe that's 2 members down for SR. Actually, as Xiao, the only player left alive on that team. So we're going to be taking a look now. ASE, 7 eliminations on the board. They're at 77.7 points on day 1. That is absolutely insane. We're going to take a look at a little replay from our previous Realm of Yang. We see ASE facing off against SR. I believe ASE does come away with the victory here. Han going to get taken extremely low here. 1 HP in a Dream. F ability to get out of there. They're getting targeted by this Syra. And oh my goodness, gets eliminated. We're going to see, is this a 3v2 victory for ASE? So we did see that SR was on the Yang depletion. We're going to see the Furen Blast coming out here. Big pole sword hit coming through from Mist, trying to make something happen. They go for an armor swap. I think there's a little bit of miscommunication there. It could have thrown them off the game. We're going to see a huge parry going to come through. Mist going to be able to use that F ability to get out of there pretty quickly, as Rico is going to go down. And now they take it. Junks getting extremely low, and they
How did they win that?
Oh my goodness, ASE really came out to play today. When the numbers are stacked against you, it's 90% of the time you are going to get yourself eliminated. So seeing that elimination happen on the turnaround, it's absolutely beautiful to see. As we're going to take a look, TE's Youth with Phoenix Blast in hand. That's going to be a dangerous Soul Jade to play around with. He's got the pistol in the back pocket as well. Gold pole sword for Peak and Xiaonan. Two golden pole swords. That's just criminal. It's going to be insanely difficult to fight against. The amount of follow-up damage that these players are able to give over is going to be absolutely crazy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is it. We see this time and time again. We know the drill. Keep that spirit well from being captured until the very last second that you can. And Youth is doing exactly that. He's going to be waiting and biding his time. And then just as it's about to expire, he's going to pop his ultimate and capture that spirit well and claim the Draco Storm for himself. And then potentially snowballing that into claiming the spirit well in the end game, in the final spirit well of the lobby. Looks as though WBG has found themselves a nice little spot just to call home, just to chill out a little bit and prepare themselves for this end game that's about to happen. 5-1, looks as though they're in a similar situation. Alliance are trying to find something. They seem to be rotating, looking to get a lay of the land. Perhaps Youth still waiting, still biding his time. There's no contest, so there's not a care in the world at the moment. Doesn't need to worry about taking this too early. Still got some time. 5-1 being pressured a little bit to move by Alliance, it seems, going up this giant mountain we don't usually see, as this entire area of the map is usually not very populated, but it is here in this end zone. Youth still waiting. ASE getting kind of close to them. I believe that TE might spot them out, and Youth might pull the trigger on this ult and capture the spirit well. At least feel as though that would be a pretty optimal choice, considering they could take them out pretty quickly. But committing to a fight at this point in the game is still going to carry a lot of risk.
Yeah, it is definitely a risky play to make, but it's something that they might have to do to just try and put some extra points up onto the board. Fun plus Phoenix in the back end here. TE's Youth with the Draco Storm buff right now. They could try and make something happen. Looks like we're going to see a little Mortal Defiance swap over on to the Zai. Smart play from them, as everybody covering that high ground. There's a Bane that's about to drop in, and these players could get hit pretty quickly from this. It looks like there are still a few players remaining in the Bane area. Everybody jumped over to the outskirts, and it looks like TE has found ASE. Not wanting to engage with this, even though they have the Draco Storm buff. They know how, I believe they're going to be able to see how scaled ASE is right now, not wanting to take that fight. They're going to jump over more to where the chaos is ensuing, seeing if they can drop a couple of eliminations over onto maybe Wolves. Oh my goodness, they have the Valiant challenge as well. So they've got Draco Storm and Mystic Might all in one. That's an interesting one to see here, as they've got the buffs and the benefits of Draco Storm, and the one thing Mystic Might is extremely well known for, they got through the Valiant challenge. Our last buff is going to be that Mystic Might, so TE looking to cover this. ASE might try to contest, but it is Mystic, so I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be what they're going for. As the Bane's going to drop, these players are going to start to make their way closer and closer to that Spirit Well. And this is going to be a game of levels. The end circle is absolutely crazy here.
Oh yeah, it is. This is going to be a very hectic indeed. The Kylins are going to have a field day, if there are in fact any. Oh, there is one. There's one Kylin. If he manages to live on 5-1, they might be able to do a significant amount here. But at the same time, the Zai's knocking people down with those meteors going to be very, very impactful. It looks as though it's closing directly on to this mountain. We're going to have a very vertical end zone, Seb. This is going to be very interesting. TE still holding on to this Spirit Well, going uncontested, as you can't really contest this Spirit Well when they have Draco Storm. The Syra ultimate is in play as well. Youth now popping that ultimate, gonna be biding his time. He's just chilling for the moment, just sending out these light attacks into the sky. Omnidirectional light attacks, extremely helpful. Catches one, but no juggle, unfortunately. And now, there it is. He has the go-ahead to get Oogly. Here he is, jumping into the enemy team without a care in the world. And WBG seemed to be the target, immediately teleporting away with that Wuchen ultimate. Jing trying to disengage. He does have that ultimate. He could drop down on everybody, but there's so many nooks and crannies to this area, it could be, it could lose a lot of value. Youth knocking this player into the zone and catching him. Leo nowhere to go in the zone. Youth now coming back in with that meteor, still safe, still kicking. His ultimate has expired, but there's just, what can you do to stop them at this point?
Yeah, there really isn't much that you can do. You've got so much power behind you, and they're really on such a roll right now, putting up a lot of numbers, trying to see if they can capitalize. They're almost able to get the kill on an IHQ there, unable to connect onto it though. The Zai still in full force attack. Looks like Xiaonan is going to be able to pick up that elimination. They get the bloom. Youth getting even more charged to his ult back. Peak is going to take out Nai HQ. Xiaonan getting ZK. LJX, the last remaining member, and Alliance chasing that elimination down hard. Wolves going to be fully eliminated now. NY7 picking up the elimination onto LJX as Revenge going to try and hold the zone. They're waiting to pop that bloom. It looks like they are going to leave it. ZJE. Gonna try and make something happen with the Viper ultimate. Looks like he wasn't able to connect onto too much. And ASE's miss gonna bring the pain on to Fun Plus Phoenix, as it looks like Kiki going to get hit and use that ultimate to get out of harm's way. The Wu Chen port going to send them to safety as they jump off. We do see them up in the high ground area. VN 521 down at the bottom. Fun Plus Phoenix at the top, as well as WBG. It looks like they're holding as much as possible. Pampy and Co. going to try and see if they can get some eliminations off onto TE, but TE just such a strong powerhouse right now. It's kind of their game to lose at this point. ASC still has a good chance to contest them. They've got Dragon Roar. They've got the purple fan in hand as well. This is going to be very interesting as this circle's closing. It's such a weird final circle. Pampy going to go for that ultimate right now. It's a difficult circle to get grabs on. There's so many nooks and crannies, and there is so many levels to this. He's going to try and get the high ground here, knocking the rest of WBG off of that high area. Going to see if he can pick up some eliminations off of Iban's. Slashes on the Kylan, and it looks like he's not able to get one. He gets one grab though. We are going to see Yiran getting hit into the slam. Elimination for Pampy on the Monk. Able to get another grab. Tries to get the second one here. Wants to go for the double. Has to de-ult though. This is an unfortunate situation for them to be in. And Yuma down in the corner getting hit by ASE miss Syra. Pampy getting absolutely benched out. Trying to get away. Was not able to. Xiaowen picking up that elimination. And ASE starting to climb. TE looking very aggressive, trying to get these eliminations off. The scale rush coming through, but we're going to see the Matari ultimate to counter WBG and their Viper ultimate here. We're going to see the F ability getting popped by Asira. Fat Milk now on the back end, fighting against Jing. FPX is going to go down. Fat Milk getting dangerously low, is going to get eliminated as well. He's still alive, 1 HP in a dream right now. Jing getting eliminated from WBG. TE's peak taking to the sky. ASE 3 players left. TE 1 player left. Alliance 1 player as well. Youth still alive as well. Ultimate available. He's going to try and pop that to come away with something. Mortal Defiance on him. Was able to do a little bit, but not enough to succeed. ASE's miss picking up that elimination. TE Speak trying to make something happen. Able to get the kill onto Revenge. Tries to get the kill onto Xiaowen. And ASE gets eliminated. TE with 19 kills and a first place finish. Oh my goodness. Wow.
What a game from TE. What a banger. Hey, I'm not sure how many kills was that in the end?